10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize we're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central. Broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle. Welcome. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. Also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. I have been investigating the paranormal for over 14 years now. So we are just not up here talking about it. We actually live it. We go out into the world of ours and we look for the evidence for you and we bring it back and we show it to you and let you listen to it right here. I have a team. One of those members of the team, Alan Thomas, is seated to the right-hand side of me.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome wherever you may be. I appreciate you hanging out with us on a Sunday evening. I know you have other stuff that you would rather do, like football, but you know what? You can still watch football and watch us at the same time. You know, turn down the volume on the football because it's mostly you watch it and you don't have to really hear what's going on. So, well, if you're looking at us right now, then you must be on the live stream network watching us on HD quality video. I appreciate it because you're looking at us right now. If you have to leave your home or your main computer and you need to go mobile, you can listen to us a couple of other different ways. The audio. We are sending the audio over to the Dark Matter Digital Network, and that can be heard on the artbell.com website. Yeah, you heard me right. Artbell.com is broadcasting our digital sound on their servers worldwide. You can also listen to us on the TuneIn app, which you can download for free, and you can go to the Dark Matter Digital Network on there, and you can catch us right now on the audio feed live. So you can leave wherever you may be on your cell phone and listen to us. And that's actually awesome because now you have the best of both worlds. Either at home you can watch us or you can listen to us on the artbell.com or the TuneIn app. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for showing up wherever you may be. Again, I appreciate it. We have been doing this show here going on 8 years now. The investigating of the paranormal, I have been doing it since, 2002, right around there. So we've been doing it for a while. And, in all that time, we have acquired a lot of great evidence, great stuff. This is one of the reasons why we started this, 7 years ago. And we're still doing it because we're still bringing it. As simple as that. We are still bringing it. And we're not going to stop because there is a whole different world out there that you guys have no idea of the stuff that exists in that world. And hopefully we can bring it to you because that's going to be our job. Our job is 24/7 basically, is we're on this paranormal stuff on the internet, social media. We are we are basically on top of things, I would like to say. And sometimes we broadcast stuff first here, and sometimes we don't. But we try to be the first ones if we can, because we're monitoring at 24/7 for you guys, 365. So if you guys watch us on Facebook, then you guys are probably in there with us, and you guys are probably the first ones who get it. Sometimes we get stuff that no one else does, and that's cool. And we broadcast it for you guys. And a lot of times you guys think there's no way this is possible, but the things that we bring you, sometimes we goof and post something that's not real. And, I apologize for that. But, we try to do as much research as we can on a short period of time. And sometimes we miss out and put something up there that's not real. And then we delete it right off the bat. But otherwise, a lot of the stuff that we put on our walls, on my wall, my personal wall, or Paranormal Central, Danny and Elizabeth are pretty on it, and they post a lot of stuff that I even miss. Actually, Danny's pretty good at that. So, and I appreciate them, giving us, their 2 cents on what's happening out there in the world. Danny is not here because he's on vacation. Actually, he's just getting back from Chicago. He's probably coming into town anytime soon, but he'll be back next week, I think. Heidi had to go back in the hospital. What's up with that?
She contracted something from the last time she was in the hospital.
Holy mackerel! How do you?
And they had to take her back in.
Wow, that's
so
crazy.
she got out for her brother's wedding and then went right back.
Wow, and she's not liking it. It sucks big time for her because who wants to be stuck in a hospital? I mean, that poor girl. But well,
man, she's rivaling me on how many days too. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I hate hospitals.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Well, for those who don't watch us on Facebook, don't follow on Facebook, all those who are on the Dark Matter Digital Network, and those who are around the world, we broke some news on Friday at noontime, and the day has finally come. We have been announcing for the longest time that Paranormal Central would eventually get put on TV. And it now has come to fruition. I mean, it's finally done. Yes. I mean, 12 o'clock noon on Friday, we posted the flyer. And matter of fact, I want to go ahead and post it right now on the screen so you can see it. But all those who are not watching us and are just listening to us, no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and I'll tell you exactly what's going on. But where are you? There you are, right there. Okay, well, Paranormal Central will be on the CW here in Fresno, California. We will be starting Sunday, November the 29th at midnight. The CW K359 here in Fresno, California, which broadcasts from Bakersfield all the way to Merced or something like that, I believe. It's a pretty large area. I mean, we're talking digital feed. We're talking HD quality, guys. All right? I mean, we got it. And we are excited, stoked as heck. Finally. Now, when we went in a while back and showed them the pilot, they wanted 26 episodes. General Manager Jack Peck goes, I want 26. And we went... because we're not being backed by anybody. We're not being backed by a network. We're not being backed by a big giant production company or sponsor. Nothing, guys. We are still waiting for you out there who believe the show is going to take off. And I know it is. Because the things that are happening to us right now, it's incredible. I mean, come on. I mean, we are on the CW here in Fresno, California, and a lot of you guys are going, oh, big deal. Well, not really. It's a very big deal. Because from what I understand, if you have a show that you want to put on TV, you got to pay for it. No matter what time period it's on TV, what channel, whatever, okay? The general manager here in Fresno has been following us for a long time, and he sees potential in what we have. Unfortunately, I can't give him 26 episodes. We only could give him 9. So he's going to play the 9 straight through, starting on the 29th of November, which is in a couple of weeks, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And for 2 weeks straight, he's going to run those 9 episodes. Then he's going to replay the 9 episodes. So it's going to go on for 18 weeks. All right? This is awesome for us. Now, we're doing this on a barter deal. What is a barter deal? A barter deal is he likes our show. He thinks our show is done really well. It's one of a kind, and he wants to put it on the air. Now he's not charging us because what he's doing is he is making money on commercial time. And that's fine with me. So we're going to get put on the air on the CW right along with, Vampire Diaries and Supernatural and Rain and all those TV shows you guys, they were debating the Fox or the CW, and I chose the CW, because Paranormal Central is exactly where all the other shows are being broadcast. It's what's about vampires and ghosts and zombies and all that, man. So we're right in there. And they're giving us a 12 midnight spot, which I'm not complaining at all.
Not me either.
I mean, come on.
Perfect.
I mean, it's like right on. I mean, it's like, you can watch The Walking Dead and then watch The Talking Dead afterwards and wait for a little bit and then watch us. Turn the channel and watch us on the CW.
Watch us, The Talking Dead.
All right. So yes, it has finally happened. We are excited. Now, a lot of people out there around the world, literally around the world, or have been emailing us and texting us like crazy after we broadcasted the thing on Friday. How can we see it? How can we see it in Australia? How can we see it in Mexico, in China, in New Zealand, in Scotland, in Chile, in San Antonio, in New York, in Colorado, in Utah? Well, we are trying to figure out a way how we can do this. Now, I know you guys could probably go, well, just put it on YouTube. Well, yes, that's true. We can do it, but these 9 episodes are really special to us. Okay, we spent a lot of time, a lot of I don't want to say a lot of money, because we are doing this on the minimum budget you can ever shoot a show on. And these 9 episodes are really special to us. It involves everything from UFOs to Bigfoot to ghost and other cool subject matter that we talk about here. All right, and every single episode it involves a live guest, because that's what the talk show is all about. All right, we are excited. And we can't wait for Sunday, November the 29th. I already heard the whole Thule reservation is going to have a viewing party. Yeah, right. No, actually, Christina already said, viewing party. Cool. Well, more power to you. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping. The reason why we are doing this, guys, is to make some noise. Okay? And I think we're doing that. Now, what is the show? Why am I doing this show on TV? I believe in what we are broadcasting as far as subject matter here. Ghost, Bigfoot, all that stuff. I believe in it. I believe in it 100%. And there are people out there who have been doing these, who have been investigating what we talk about here longer than I have been investigating and broadcasting on here. Way longer. There is some great subject matter out there. There's some great books that the world needs to see. There is some great photographs, some great stories that the world needs to see. And I'm going to bring all that to you guys. It's not about Alan and myself and the show. The only way we're going to be able to make this work is is we're going to have to grab people out there who's in the business and bring them on here and talk. And that's what we're going to do. Reality show host. Actors and actresses that you see on the CW, Vampire Diaries, Supernatural. Eventually, all that's going to happen. I swear to you guys. That's all going to happen. I'm going to bring artists. I'm going to bring rock bands on here that your favorite rock bands of all time. I'm going to bring them on the show, and they're going to perform for you guys. Then we're going to sit them down, and we're going to talk paranormal, buddy. And we're going to have fun. And you know me, I'm a prankster. Well, we're gonna prank some people who don't believe in Bigfoot and UFOs. Well, I'm going to scare the you-know-what out of them. And we're going to have a great time. All right? That's what my intent is on this show. Now, people are going, oh my God, you guys are going to go to TV, you're going to sell yourself to Satan. No, we're not. We're going to continue doing this on the internet. And so we're going to have both of both worlds. We're going to go live on TV. I mean, we're going to do the TV thing and we're going to do the internet thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we're not going to be allowed to talk about certain subjects on TV. As simple as that. The conspiracy stuff, the government stuff. They're not going to let us talk about that on the CW. They're not. All right? So we're going to come here and we're going to talk about it here. Now, again, you know, a lot for all those who've been watching us who've been watching me since I started this in 2007. When you see the show on TV, if you're in the locally area when they get broadcast, you're gonna say, "Wow, you know, I've seen this before," or it's that it. You know, I expected more. Well, it's like, for an example, when Jay Leno left the Tonight Show and Jimmy Fallon came in. Okay, I remember I watched the first show of Jimmy Fallon. He was nervous as hell. You know, they brought in all these celebrities, and if you guys remember, to come in and congratulate him, and I mean, they had the top-notch celebrity, Barbara Streisand, big time celebrities. And Jimmy Fallon was very uncomfortable because he was getting his feet wet for the first time, right? And that's how it's going to be when on the first episode that you watch on the CW. It is not to our full potential yet. We haven't even started. This was only done on like $5, a minimum budget. All right. There is so much that we can continue to do that once we get the budget and the writers and the directors and the producers, then it's going to turn out awesome. We're going to blow you the frick away. All right. Now, I've already got somebody saying, who's your first guest? I'm not going to tell you who's our first guest or a second or a third or fourth, because there are people watching us right now. And this is for real. I'm not making this up. But, you know, when I would announce who's coming in next week, a bunch of these shows would grab that person during the week before we aired it on Sunday. So I'm not going to tell you who we're going to have on the first episode of TV because, you know, we're going to keep a secret. We're going to keep it a secret. All right? And I hope you understand. Okay, now, we're all working on how we can broadcast worldwide. And I had a really short message meeting on Friday with the general manager when I signed the papers for the show. That he has been thinking about broadcasting some shows on the internet, on the website of the KMPH, the CW, the Fox here in Fresno. So he's going to work on it to see if he can do it. And I'm pretty sure, I know he can, but let's see how soon or what. But so in other words, at a certain time, they're going to stream that episode live on the internet on the Fox CW network here in Fresno, California, worldwide. So anybody in the world could tune in and watch it for free. All right? So we're trying to work that out right now. Like I said, we just everything was signed in ink on Thursday, actually, not Friday, but Thursday. And and we're working out some details for that. But either way, we're gonna run a 9-episode run starting on November the 29th, Sunday at 12 midnight. All right. And I hope you guys that are locally here in Central California enjoy it and stay up at 12 midnight. I want you to tell your friends, please. Start broadcasting this to all your friends. You know, take that flyer that has been on my Facebook wall left and right. Please make copies and send it and post it on your wall and send it to everybody. They're also, the CW is also going to run commercials for us during Wednesday, I think Thursday or Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before the show. So I think it's going to run on the CW and the Fox. I'm not sure, but we have some commercials that are going to come out to promote the show because people need to know about the show somehow, right? I mean, if it's going to air at 12 o'clock midnight and people aren't going to know about it, well, you know, we need to push the show somehow. So that's how we're going to do it. You're going to continue seeing us push it on social media. Alan is working on the website. I don't know if he's got that done yet.
Not all the way yet.
Okay.
I'm working on the graphics.
Okay,
It
so he's
takes
going to put that on.
time.
Well, hurry up, man. So, and
I want it to look good.
Well,
you
sure.
know. If you put anything on there, I could put a crappy little thing, but
right. Okay. So Alan's working on that on the website. Now, Fresno has the show. We are giving Sinclair Broadcasting the rights for all 9 episodes. What does that mean? What the heck? Did you hear that? Those are our guard dogs around the fencing area of the studio. Whew. Okay. Anyways,
yeah, I hate to be the dude trying to jump the fence.
that guy, the men in black, they're dead meat. Now,
Those ISIS terrorists.
Sinclair Broadcasting owns this station here in Fresno, which owns Fox, the CW, and Univision. All right? They're all in one building. The Sinclair Broadcasting Network out of Texas owns a lot of stations. Go Google Sinclair Broadcasting TV stations, and you'll have a list. Why am I telling you to do that? For those people who are around America, if you go Google that link, and then it's going to show you all the stations in alphabetical order. Now, they own they own stations that belong to the Fox, CW, ABC, NBC, CBS, which means that if one of these stations that are in your area, like for example NBC, you can call them and say, hey, there's a station owned by Sinclair in Fresno, California on the CW that they're going to air Paranormal Central on this Sunday. Could you guys get that show and air it as well? And that's what you guys are going to have to do if you guys want to see it in your area. All right? I got a feeling they're going to... when we gave them our pilot 2 years ago... Huh?
They want that switched.
Okay.
They said they're getting tired of the picture.
Okay. You want to see our ugly mugs? What's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you guys? Okay, so... again, if you guys want to see this show on your station in your area, then you just have to call them and tell them what the name of the show is and who they can contact their affiliate in or sister station in Fresno, California, because they're going to air it. And what I would do is send them a copy of this flyer that I just posted. It's on my Facebook wall if you want. All right. And then what's going to happen now? What happened 2 years ago when we gave them our first pilot is, and it was done. I mean, it wasn't done compared to what we have done today. Jack Peck, the general manager, said, "Oh, I'll air this," and he aired it on the Fox and the CW. All right.
That was like last year.
No, it was 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Because you know how Facebook comes up with that memory thing.
Was it last year? It can't be last year.
You know that.
No, it wasn't last year.
It was the 14th or the 15th of November
Of last-
2014, and the
No.
picture came up, and I shared it.
It can't be because
It might have been 2013. But I can't
no.
remember.
yeah, I think it was 2013 because this studio was barely being made during the summer. So I don't think I don't think so. I think it was 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure it was. It's been a while, dude. But anyways, regardless,
We've been trying that long.
dude, it's been a while. We have what they did here in Fresno is since they are affiliated with literally hundreds and hundreds of other TV stations around the United States, they inputted our first pilot in their data availability system network, which any station that they're hooked up with that belongs to Sinclair, if they would type in paranormal and our show comes up, they can download it and air it in their area if they wanted to. And that's what's going to happen again this time on all 9 episodes. So that's why you guys have the ability to tell your station, whatever it may be, CW, the Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, that you want Paranormal Central to air in your area. So it's up to you guys. If you guys want to make it happen, by all means, make it happen.
I actually put a map on my Facebook and I think I shared it to your Facebook, and it shows grayed areas. Now, it's not a perfect gray area. You know what I mean? Like, I think it shows Georgia half grayed, but it pretty much, when I was talking to some people in the other states where half of it was grayed out and the other half wasn't, they were saying they still got those channels.
Okay.
So, I mean, even if you're right next to a little grayed area, but you're in the white, don't think that you can't get it. Check. Check. There's actually a list that you can look at the map. You can look at what Jeffrey shared at the top, and then there's actually a list of stations, and it says what station call letters and city and everything, and they need to check that.
Okay.
Because if you could get that, like a lot of people in Merced and up and down, like almost to Bakersfield can get. I even think Bakersfield can actually get this, like mainly the Central Valley,
right? Which is millions and millions and millions of people.
It's a few million,
yeah. So there's a lot of people who can literally watch our show if they wanted to. But the only problem is now we have to put it out there for people to know about it, and that's going to be where you guys come in. So again, it's up to you guys. If you want to see the show broadcast in your area, then it's up to you to call the sister station in your area and have them ask them if they can and tell them what the show is about and go from there. It's just like, it's just like, a band when they put out their first record and only certain stations in certain big markets will air, will start playing it, and it's up to their fans to call up the radio stations and request it. That's what we're asking you. We're not, it would be a different thing if we were signed to a multi-deal with Sinclair or whoever or whatever network, and they would, buy the show and then it'd be all over. Basically, they would air it on all of their networks. You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't have to do that, but that's not the case here. We have our foot in the door now. We're going to start making some noise with the 9 episodes that we have. And again, for all those who, and I know we have people watching now who are in the business, because when we sent this out on, was it Friday? It blew some people away, because we have been talking about this for a long time, and everybody thought we were just talking shit. Sorry, I mean talking smack, right? But it's not the case. It's the real deal now. All right. So I am excited. I am honored. I am blown away that my show gets to be played on the same channel as Supernatural, Vampire Diaries, all those great CW shows, man. I mean, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And they're not charging me a dime because they think the show is going to take off, either with them or with somebody else. All right? So, there you go. Stay tuned for Sunday, November the 29th, midnight, and you're going to see the first episode of Paranormal Central, the TV show. And I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. Let's continue on with the show. What happened on Friday? Well, Paris got hit. All right. There's a lot of stuff going on right now about the whole Paris thing. I am not, let's see, do I think it actually happened? I think it did. I think some people got killed. I do. I think, the 100 and whatever people got murdered. They were murdered. All right? I don't think, now, yes, I think people died. Now people are going, well, it was a false flag. It was all set up. Well, by whom? All right. And that's what we're going to talk about just a little bit. Well, not maybe a lot, actually. On Friday, I was watching, there were some things that I saw and I heard that I said, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Or, here we go again. Where have I heard this before? Or where have I seen this before? Okay, what I thought was really weird, and I've heard this before, that, I don't know, there was 7 or 8 terrorists, right? And majority of them blew themselves up with these, bomb vests, the suicide bombers. And there was, a couple of them that were in that theater with AR-15s, and they're, shooting people. Supposedly, one of the suicide bombers that blew himself up left behind a passport. And he's from Syria National, basically. Now, what's kind of weird, or not weird, but coincidence, is that same thing happened in 9/11. They found a passport from one of the guys, the terrorists. And,
Out of all the millions of papers.
all right.
I mean, it would be easier in this, but
Yeah.
a little easier.
But
everything else he had shredded, right?
Right. Now, I was listening, I was going through the channels. I was watching CNN, MSN, the Fox, and I just happened to have landed on Megyn Kelly's show. And she was talking with the reporter, and they were going, and she even said this. She goes, it's strange that all of the terrorists are dead. Like, there's not one were captured to interrogate. She even said that. She goes, isn't it weird that all the terrorists are dead? Not one is alive right now. They're all dead. And that blew her away. And even the other reporter goes, yeah. She goes, yeah, that's kind of strange. Because, you would think that hopefully they could try to get one and wound one. I can understand if you're a suicide bomber, well, then you're gone. You're dead as soon as you pull the string. You're, boom. Okay, but the guys in the theater, for an example, the restaurant, the ones, from what I understand, the same gunmen that were in that theater were the same ones that ran down the street toward the theater, were the one that opened fire in that restaurant just to do it, and then they went into the theater. Now, why that theater? From what I understand, that theater before September was owned by Jewish people. And that's the reason why they chose that theater. In September, the owners sold it to somebody else. And I think the terrorists didn't know about that. But that is the reason why they chose that theater. From what I understand, it was owned by, the owners were Jewish. It wasn't because there was a metal band from California playing that night, which is kind of odd. But that's, if you go Google and you'll see what I'm talking about, it's correct. It's true about the Jewish ownership. Columbus, Ohio is calling. Well, let's answer this. Maybe somebody, some important. Oh, you know what? It might be, what's his name? You're on the line. Who's this? Okay. Hotline. Did I hang up? Hang up on you? Crap. I think I hanged up on you. Want to call back in again? All right. So let's continue on with the shooting. From what I understand, is on the same day, on Friday, is they were having a drill in Paris on terrorist attacks. Here we go again. All right. You can Google that. Apparently, that is out there, and there is actually some validity to it. They had a French radio station, and they were on like a live stream type of broadcast, and they were talking to somebody, and that person said, yes, we were having drills this morning on terrorist attacks in Paris. And then all of a sudden, they got attacked by terrorists. Okay? Now, this is where me and my wife got into it. I mean, we were yelling at each other last night, throwing things at each other, and just throwing knives at each other. No, just kidding. This has been done. All the other shootings, I want to say not all of them, but for example, Sandy Hook, 9/11, and some other ones I can't quite mention, but apparently all these other terrorist attack gun disasters, there were drills taking place not too far away from where this incident occurred. So let's talk about that. Why would they be having drills? I mean, if they're going to, I mean, if this is all planned like a false flag deal. Now, when I say false flag, it means that somebody is putting this together and making you guys think it actually is terrorists from Syria who's actually doing the killing. That is what a false flag is making you think something else, right? Granted, people died. There are dead people. There was one girl from California who perished, and she was in the restaurant, I believe. She was going to school down there, and she was from the San Diego area, if I'm not mistaken. And she died from the gunfire. All right? So that tells me that there was some deaths that occurred. Now, who actually caused the deaths? I don't know. But apparently, from what I heard, they were having a terrorist drill that day. Now, if I was going to initiate a false flag, would I have a drill, a practice drill the same day? That would just be so obvious and so coincidental. It's like, why would you do that? Why? Why would you have a drill? Is it because you wanted to have all of the paramedics, all of the proper authorities on standby, so when you did go and kill all those people, you wanted to have these people on site ASAP? But that would just say, wait a minute, you guys were on standby. That means you guys knew about it. Why would you guys do that? I mean, there are people out here like us who catch on to this stuff. I don't understand why would you do that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Would it? I mean,
it's coming from the part I don't get is America. We were here. We have all that, but I never knew that they did the same thing there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're following the same protocols we are. I mean, it's like the same brain is setting all this up over there too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just blows me away that they would make it so obvious that why would the government, the French government, have terrorist drills on the same day they had an actual terrorist attack? It's just, what?
I mean, that's what happened here.
Yes, that's what happened here at Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
That's what happened at 9/11. Had
yeah.
FEMA set up right down the street of where the Twin Towers were located. I mean, when it all happened, like they were on standby, guys. Now, I told my wife that, okay, now, she said, what if they had them on standby to make the proper authorities look good because they got there on time to save a certain amount of people, and I'm going, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then I said, what if, because, what we talk about here, guys, is paranormal and supernatural stuff. Our police, the FBI even, they actually work with people who have psychic abilities. They do. All right? What if, and I'm going way out on the limb here, guys. I'm throwing this out there. Because this is my job, is to think out of the box and to make you go, Either, Jeff, no, you're smoking the crack today on that one. Or, what if a psychic told them that there was going to be a terrorist attack on the Friday the 13th, but they didn't know where or how or when, but an exact time, but they knew it was going to happen in France, or in Paris, I'm sorry, on this day. You guys need to be ready. And the French part of the, what we call the FBI here, I forgot what they call MJ-12 or something. Is that what they call them over there? MJ-12? Or no, not MJ-12. It's their form of FBI. What if they take that into consideration, and they are on standby mode in certain areas? What if? That's where I thought maybe, the FEMA tents and all the triage, like on 9/11 down the street in New York, that they had all that stuff set up already. All right. The same thing for Sandy Hook. Down the street, they were having a shooter drill at a school, and they had all the equipment down there on standby. Okay, so that's where I'm throwing this out there. All right, what if they knew something was going to happen, they just didn't know how, but they wanted to be on a standby mode, and maybe they had triage and their whatever they call their FBI on their side set up and ready to go, and it did happen. Because to me, it's like, it doesn't make sense that the people who are going to kill their own people are going to set up a triage or a people on standby, so when they do kill the people, they can get in there really quick to try to save them. That doesn't make any sense, right? But what if somebody told them, like a psychic, or their FBI on their side said, we're getting some chatter that we're going to get hit. We need to be on standby mode, and maybe that's the case too. Okay, so there you go. Now, California dead. All right, so what do you guys think? Now, from what I heard today, is one of the terrorists in the Paris attack was a refugee that France had just recently let in. And as you know, France was letting in all kinds of refugees from Syria. And they were accepting them with open arms. Not checking them, not checking where they're from, just come on in. And a majority, 90% of all these people that were coming in are male between the ages of 18 and like 30-something years old. And they were just letting them in by the thousands, guys. Well, guess what happened yesterday in New Orleans? New Orleans here in the United States of America. President Obama is bringing in 10,000 Syrian refugees, and they landed in New Orleans as of yesterday. And there are facilities around the United States that they're taking these refugees to. All right? Now, I posted something today, and I got some slack over it. People, again, thought, dude, you're just causing fear porn again. But this is coming from an actual TV station, Channel 10, and it's in Texas. But they said, and this list came out in June of this year. And it said it was from the Pentagon, from the military, from our government, that somehow the list of pilots that were involved in bombing the Syria campsites of the terrorists got let out, and the terrorists now have it. And they have said that they're going to come and they're going to kill the pilots and their families here in the United States of America.
Skype quit.
What?
Skype quit. Are we still on over there?
Skype quit, really?
Yeah.
We'll call him back up. That's the first time Skype has ever shut down. What a trip.
And it totally quit.
Wow.
There he is.
What? Are you there?
Yeah, I am now.
What happened?
Well, lost you completely.
Wow, that was a trip.
Okay.
That was the first.
Let me put you right back on.
Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Right in 3, 2, 1.
Wow. We're talking about what we're talking about right now, guys. And we just lost the feed going to the dark matter digital network at artbell.com, guys. That has never
First
happened.
time.
First
First
time
time.
has ever happened. And we're talking about this subject matter right now, you guys.
Seeing like there's somebody you've been questioning in here. Like, is this paranormal? No, this is conspiracy.
Conspiracy, absolutely.
This is conspiracy. Like, I don't know. When you read about it, they say the government made these guys. I mean, our president's probably arming them. You know.
Okay, Columbus, Ohio. Here we go. Hello, you're on there.
Hello.
Who's this?
Hey, you guys were still on when you thought the Skype went down on live stream.
Okay.
This is Kaiser.
Hey, Kaiser, how's it going, dude? Smoky man.
Outstanding, buddy. Yeah, you're kind of on point with your thought process. But when you say chatter, that's NSA and every nation's little eavesdropping organization.
Right.
Now, I would say that's probably more correct than not. By the way, have you Googled different launches from the last time we spoke?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
Are they
Well,
launched?
anyways, try to do that. No, in my opinion, it's not uncommon to see dead terrorists, and here's why. You have Action Direct and also elements of the 2nd Regiment Estrange de Parachute, which is Legion, Foreign Legion. They've been mobilized since the shooting at Charlie Hebdo. So, I mean, they've been on the streets of Paris.
Okay.
Whether this was an actual, drill or whatever, like you said, they've been out. And that's been a rarity for Western nations. What you're seeing right now is Europe is being overrun. I think you already know that. The same thing happened, what people call the First Crusade, which was actually Muslim, back before states or capital S's, and they came in, they immigrated. Of the wars back. So the actual initial invasion was done by Islam, and it wasn't until another princeman pushed them out, and that's why the biggest mosque they had in Europe up until recently was in Spain, because that was the furthest they got into Europe. And when Charles pushed them out, Charles Montel, when he pushed them out and back into Islamic countries, part, and people forget the reason why they called the Dark Ages was because of this time period. And after that, we had what they called the Renaissance. So, I mean, everything that's old, and it's happening again, the same way. So that's just my opinion.
Now,
And yep.
I'm so these refugees are coming into our country now, correct?
Oh yeah, they've been coming in. Look at the Somalians who go over and fight, and they're in Minnesota.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about the ones that our
Right,
government
the
is
new ones.
the new ones, correct?
The new ones. Right, but still, if they're Islamicized, they're Islamicide.
Right.
Okay? So you're going to see this, and it's not all, everybody will say it's all Islam. No, it's not. But if you figure Islam as 1.5 billion people, and they say it might be 10% that are terrorists, do the numbers on that. And it's not selling fear porn.
Right.
I'm just telling folks, nobody's monitoring the mosque, haven't been, for about, going on 7 years now. When I worked for the government, we actually were. So, this is what it is. And you guys will either believe it or not, but I thought I'd give my 2 cents, and I don't think you're all. I don't think you're on the crack. I think you're thinking. And that's the problem, is we've lost a lot of critical thinking out
Right.
there, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I personally think that what happened in Paris, I think we're next.
Oh, well, that's a given. It's just a matter of time. It's when, it's not if, it's when and how bad.
Right.
And it's been that way ever since first, well, I can't even say the first time. Remember, the World Trade Center hit first under Clinton, and they handled it as a law enforcement matter.
Well, see, and that's what I was trying to get. You know, people were saying, because, you know, President Bush was in office when that happened, right? But
Right.
people don't understand that when Clinton was in office for 8 years, he cut the funds from everybody, from the FBI, CIA, DEA, the military. I had friends who worked with me at AT&T Telephone, and they were on the National Guard and would go and do their every, weekend or 2 week of the month or whatever, and they were practicing with no bullets. They had nothing, absolutely nothing.
No, I know.
You know, and it was crazy. And then all of a sudden, you know, Bush comes in, and then, you know, in September, that's when, we got hit, and everybody was blaming Bush. But you don't understand that, you know, our defenses were down during the Clinton years, completely down, dead.
It's even worse than that. And right now, it's been re-erected. I'll explain what I mean. There's a person by the name of Jane Gorelick, okay? She erected what was called the Gorelick Wall. Before that,
that was during the Clinton year. They couldn't speak to each other. Right.
Yeah, FBI, CIA could not speak to each other because of the Gorelick Wall.
Right.
Well, under Obama, he put a Gorelick back in to re-erect the Gorelick Wall. So everything we did with Homeland Security has been undone again.
Wow.
So it's basically setting us up for another hit.
That's crazy, guys.
So,
all right.
Anyways, I may sound too crazy.
No.
Guys,
I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, the bloc in the Clinton days, didn't allow them to communicate with each other.
Right.
It's just that was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not saying I want mass spying or any of that. I think that's garbage too. But what we're not doing is we're not actually asking questions to the people coming in.
No,
we're not doing due diligence.
No, we're not.
Research.
Exactly. I mean, who knows how many suicide bombers are on those tour buses who are now driving to these sites that are located all over the United States?
Oh, probably plenty and many. I know when my last federal agency, seen all my paper, you could go to certain places on the southern border, and you'll see where people drop off all their clothing and stuff to try to make it a long walk.
Right.
Well, you'll find a lot of Qurans. You'll find a lot of Islamo-fascist stuff out there with the debris and the trident. So these are facts. They're immutable, but the media doesn't cover them.
Right.
So it's up to the alternative media, but themselves,
to
actually illuminate it, because most people won't understand. And hopefully, I'm making myself clear on these things.
Yeah. Well,
even though my first time I appeared, I did sound very clear because of the voice alteration.
Right. Well, no, you're basically confirming what I just said and what I already knew. So I knew about the blockage and what Clinton did back in the days and all that. So that's all it's not news to me. I knew about that. So, okay.
Where you're going to see Maria Le Pen, people start rising up again. What you're going to see in Europe is different America. You're going to see Europe being more fascistic, and it's already happening. And you're going to see borders start slamming shut. You're already seeing it with one nation,
Right.
France, the
They're,
weakest nation in Europe.
yeah, they just shut the borders. And are they on martial law right now?
Well, they're on, they're under heavy military patrols, heavier than even it was after, the Hebdo affair.
Right.
So also what you're going to see is you're going to start internal political tensions. Like in Germany, see, a lot of people don't know about Angela Merkel. Angela is East German. She actually is a scientist. And by trade, that's what she did in East Germany. And she was pretty hardcore. But after the last time she talked to Obama, I guess she got her head right. And that would have been in 2014. And I can get into more, but I'm not on the air. I might do it offline with you sometime.
Okay.
Some.
Right on.
But anyways, you're going to start seeing the Germans with the people start rolling again. Austria is just in the same situation. And Sweden inundated. You want to look at the rape capital of the world now is Sweden. Because every Islamist activist is told in the mosque that if she's blonde-haired and blue-eyed, she's for property because she's a non-believer.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. No such thing as rape and that culture on that.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Anyways, all I have to say.
Thank you very much for calling, man. Giving your 2 cents.
God bless.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You know what they're doing? They're kind of doing like how the casino I used to work at, the last casino I worked at. I mean, they have surveillance, and surveillance is to watch everybody in the casino. Okay, so I look at our surveillance for the United States, right? There came a point in the casino where they were watching the employees so hard that they weren't watching the customers, right? So the customers are getting away with like running off with people's things, purses, stuff like that, and they didn't even have it on camera because they were too busy watching who went to the bathroom or who took too long of a break or who was leaning on the counter or stuff like that. That's how I see America's doing. Right? We have our surveillance. Like, I don't care where you go in our city, there's cameras everywhere.
Right.
I mean, it's so much so that I saw this guy up on one of the towers for a cell tower in the night, and he was flashing a light around, and I didn't call 911, I just called the dispatch line. Mm-hmm. That way I wasn't tying up a 911 line, and I'm talking to them, but I could hear them talking. They're keeping me on the line, like, is the guy still up there? And they're saying, hey, can you see him from the camera at such and such corner? How about this one? Try this one. Try this one. They could see that tower from like 5 different cameras.
If they were aware of what was happening, if it wasn't for you, they would have never. Why would they? Yeah, why would they be up there in the first place?
Only now, see what we're doing now. I mean, I'm just saying we have the technology. Right. We have it.
Right.
It's all over the place. But they're too busy watching us. The guys that aren't doing anything. They're too busy listening to our phone calls. And they're saying they haven't turned all inward to the people, right?
Right.
They need to, like, watch who's coming in the border. I mean, that's what our American people aren't going to be doing. I mean, we're not the terrorists, right? We're not, I mean, how many people have you heard them catching? You know what I mean? Like, have you heard in the news that all this surveillance on us, how many people have they caught? Now they have a thing that if you shoot a gun, it triangulates on you, and it can tell you right where the gun was fired. Right. I mean, that's getting everywhere. Mm-hmm. But the only bad thing is they're going to use it like an afterthought type thing, like they'll know something happened right there, and then they'll all go to it. But only they're not going to stop anything like pre stopping it because they're not asking these guys any questions. They're not filling out any forms. They don't have to show their ID when they vote. They go down and get any welfare, and they're being in subsidized housing. I mean, stuff that we can't get as a people for our own people, they're giving it to these guys.
Right.
And they're coming in without even any women or children. It's just young guys.
Right. And that's like, it's so obvious. It's like when people now are in lines to fly in an airport, they are taking the old ladies and they're taking the kids in wheelchairs who are white, who look totally not even harmful, and they're taking and they're strip searching these. But these people who are of Indian descent or, of dark, they'll let them go right through. They're not even, okay, go. You know what I'm saying? They're emphasizing more on the public than the people that might be terrorists. You follow me? I mean, that's what they're doing.
Well, it wouldn't. Now, like if I'm training a kid or a dog or, and I'm teaching them or training something, like I used to teach law enforcement stuff for about 9 or 10 years, the handgun, the baton, the mace, takedown techniques, all this stuff, range stuff, but only like the way that, like if I wanted to indoctrinate these people or get them thinking a certain way, like I would, in one of my classes, I would have everybody sitting there and we would be doing, I don't know, any little thing like maybe following, how to follow people around without being noticed, like surveillance. Only while we were doing that, all of a sudden I had it prearranged that a guy would run in and he would run to my desk and then he would look at everybody, real fast, and then he would grab a book and then he would run out, right? And then I had everybody write down their description. Some people could get down to the shoelaces, you know what I mean? Some people could, even with just only a few seconds. And then the rest of them, they couldn't tell you how tall he was or how much, I mean, they had no clue. They'll tell you what book he took, right? That they didn't, I mean, everybody saw him, but only, so what what they're doing is when you go in there, they're training you. They're like, say they start martial law, they're setting up a behavior where you're used to taking your shoes off and going through the thing and getting searched and patted down and touched in certain places. I mean, they're setting us up to where it'll become an everyday occurrence
right.
thing.
They're conditioning us, guys. What they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're doing, know. And I mean, that's how when I was teaching the class, I was trying to do the same thing by surprising my students with different scenarios where they have to, where you don't know it's going to happen. You it's all not planned, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you got to get a description, and pretty soon, if you practice those kinds of things enough times, it becomes second nature to you, right?
Right.
It's like driving a car or riding a bicycle. You get in, you're not thinking about, oh man, I got to hit the brake and push the pedal and check my rear. I mean, you're not thinking about that. You're just doing it as you're driving. Maybe when you first started, they're doing the same thing to us, but only they're using TSA and stuff. And how many people has TSA caught? Does anybody know any numbers on that?
Mm-mm.
I haven't heard of anyone the TSA caught. I hear of stuff like, oh, I forgot and I put shampoo bottles.
Right.
I mean, you hear that kind of stuff, but you don't ever hear of them ever catching anyone like a shoe bomber, or you don't hear that stuff. They're just, they need to be, and it's our fault that we're not putting in a pressure on them. There's more of us than them, and they work for us, you guys. They work for us. I mean, on the side of the police car, if you read one, it says, we serve the population, right? We serve the people.
Yeah, right.
They work for us, and they're trying to make us think that we're subservient to them. No. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. That is what they're trying to do.
Okay. Well, we're getting some comments about, hey, you guys are, this is a paranormal show. Well, not necessarily. This is an everything show when it comes to paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy theories, all that kind of stuff. It's what we talk about. And the reason why we're talking about this right now is because it just happened on Friday.
And this is gonna keep on happening.
Right.
And right now we're seeing it over there, and we're sitting back over here like,
you
it's
guys
gonna start happening here.
right
next.
now you guys, as a matter of fact, you get some people are on Twitter stating that what just happened on the
Dark
sky,
matter?
the sky didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was all faked.
Right.
Dude, I swear.
Well, I looked up and there was a message saying you're cut off.
Okay.
Dark matter. I mean, the sky quit.
And I know that wasn't. It's not the internet, because if there was the internet, we would have lost live stream.
Right. We're on both.
And we're on both right now. So somehow Skype got cut off, and we have been with dark matter how long? 2 years now, and I don't think
We never went off.
it never happened. We
No.
never went off.
We never have. Lost
Never have.
our-
Never. So all right. Let's continue on. Yesterday was Friday was Friday the 13th. All right. Is it a coincidence that the terrorists, bombed us on Friday the 13th and did their stuff on Friday? Is it one of the? I don't know.
I don't think so.
It was just why did they choose that day?
I don't think they were looking at it as a Friday the 13th.
No, it just coincidence that it happened on Friday the 13th. Now, for those who don't know,
now if you might look at and see if it was some kind of, because everybody knows, right? Everybody knows this is a religious thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you know what? Okay, I research a lot of stuff, and I've been researching religions and stuff like that. And did you know that these Saudis and the Arabians and all the Arabs and all these people around there that are mostly the Muslim over there, everybody came from Abraham, the one that took his son and was going to stab his son because God told him, and then at the last minute he told him stop. He has a ram. Well, that Abraham had 2 wives, and then he started having kids. They're cousins, man. These guys, the Jews and the Arabs are cousins. They've been doing this for like forever. This is a religious thing. This whole thing is all religion. It's not anything else. It's all about religion.
Okay. And Friday the 13th, I just posted something up on the screen for everybody to see. It, apparently, a lot of things happened on that day. Not just the Paris terrorist attack, but there was the Japan earthquake, which is close to a 7.0.
Wow.
The Baghdad had a funeral that was bombed. Beirut, there was a suicide bombing, and in Mexico we had an earthquake. And supposedly, in that all those 5 incidences that occurred, 115,000 people died. So a lot of things, not just the Paris terrorist attack, occurred on that day. So I'm just letting you know that Friday the 13th was a very, very bad day. All right. Now, this was sent to me. Mike Smith actually sent me this. It's about 3 weeks ago, I think. This is a cover of the Economist book. Magazine, and they were talking about it on Godlike Productions, about hints that was put on this cover. And if you look at the very bottom, what are you doing? Oh, jacket. If you look at the very bottom down here at the bottom corner, you will see some dates. 11.5 and 11.3. Well, numbers, not just dates. It could be anything, really. But if you take those dates, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, obviously one, you can easily say it could be Friday the 13th of November if you use the numbers in the correct way. And Charlie Hebdo, I believe, happened on May. I don't. If somebody can go and look up the Charlie Hebdo, the newspaper or magazine attack, these numbers correspond to that date. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Alan is knocking the studio down. So take this and see if you guys can find any type of hints in it. Supposedly there's a lot of hints in this if you go and start looking for them. I don't know what they are, but go for it. See if you can find some. But there you go. All right, let's continue on. The missile. I bet you guys don't know this. The missile that was shot off on the coast of California, supposedly by one of our subs, right? I'm going to post something up with the date on it. The missile that was shot from the submarine on November the 7th, 2015 from the Pacific Ocean, correct? Everybody knows about that because we talked about it last Sunday because it happened the Saturday the day before. Okay, we got a call coming in. Should we answer it? Sure. Hello. You're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing this evening?
Good. Who's this?
My name is Mike Anderson, Mike from Naptown. I listened to your show for a few months, and this is my first time ever calling in.
Okay, cool.
But I have kind of an opinion I wanted to voice, if that was okay with you guys, something that nobody's really talking about when it comes to Paris.
Okay, go for it, dude.
Sure. The one thing that I think, typically I'm the kind of person that would screen false flag, crisis actors, things like that, and I don't believe that with this. What I do think that nobody's really talking about, the reaction that's happening afterwards, is putting Putin in a bad space. Basically, when it comes to us wanting to remove Assad, with ISIS and everything, now Putin is going to be backed into a wall to where if everybody says we need to get rid of Assad, he's going to have no choice. He's not going to be able to protect Assad anymore.
Right. Okay.
So I kind of think that, I'm not saying it's a false flag, I'm not saying it's crisis acting. What I'm thinking is the way the media is rallying everybody is basically so Putin will no longer have a chance to protect Assad.
So do you think then, because obviously I personally think that people died. This wasn't a fake shooting of any sort. So do you?
No, not at all. This really happened.
This really happened. So do you think it was planned that way to stop Putin from what he was continue to do?
No, I mean I personally think that we created ISIS in the beginning, but I think at a certain point it takes on a life of its own. I think these were true believers. These were people who really doctrinated and took on this role and went to Paris and did the attack. I think it's past the point of the CIA creating ISIS. What I think though, I don't think this. In other words, I don't think this was planned against Putin. I think that after it happened, everybody is, all the powers that be, all the three-letter agencies, all your Bilderberg groups, your Bohemian Groves, all the people that are really in charge are now spinning it to where eventually when we say, oh, well, this all leads back to, the Ukraine, Assad, so on and so forth, Putin's not going to be able to say, we're protecting our interests, because he's going to look like the biggest jerk in the world now if he does.
That's true.
So I don't think it was planned. I think Paris happened. Paris happened. I think ISIS really went in there, and Paris really happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the aftermath and the spinning of it now is going to be to where Putin's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to, if he wants to be, if he wants to be on the world stage, he's going to have to not support Assad anymore.
Right.
I think that's the way it's being spun.
Okay. And also, I think the stopping everybody at the borders here in America, I think that's also going to assist anybody who are for closing the borders, I think, because, they're saying that one of those terrorists, maybe even more, were the ones who came in through the refugees when France let them all through. So will the media now say it's time to close the borders because of what just happened?
On the same note, and this is what I talk about the whole spinning of everything. When they say that they closed the borders yesterday, flights were still coming in and out,
right?
And people were still driving across the borders. It's not like the old days of Germany and whatnot, where there was a guy there and you had a railroad crossing that would close down the road. I mean, you can actually drive across the border. It's not nobody's there to stop you.
Right.
So when they say that they closed the border, from everything I'm seeing on Twitter and people that are actually over there, looking at the flights, in and out of the airport, the borders were not closed.
No, there's no way. There's no way you can, not unless you have like a wall of China. There's no way you can close the borders. I mean, it's impossible. So, okay. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in and giving your 2 cents. It makes sense that, obviously
I appreciate you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah. I'm just afraid now of what's going to happen here in America. I really do. I'm scared to death, guys.
It's gonna happen like I've been putting on here.
It's scary.
We need to do some more prep shows. It's been a while for us, and it's time to do some more because it's not a bad idea to have your bug out plan and everything ready.
But okay, let's talk about that a little bit. If the terrorists are going to attack America, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to try to kill as many people as they can.
Either that or infrastructure.
Okay. Now, I was talking about something when the last caller called in, and this was Channel 10, CBS, if I'm not mistaken, out of Texas. I don't know what city. This happened in June. They were notified by the Pentagon, military, the government, that the terrorists somehow got a hold of a list of the pilots. I don't know how they did this, or they knew of the pilots that were going over there and they were bombing, the campsites or the training camps in Syria. And Channel 10 in June posted this on their website and did a story about it. I didn't hear about it until today, and somebody posted it on Facebook, and I grabbed it, and I made sure that this was legit. It was actually on the website of a news station, and what it lists, and it said that the Pentagon is issuing a warning, and this was like 4 months ago, all right, issuing a warning to the pilots and their families who were involved in bombing procedures in jets, basically on aircraft carriers that were in Syria. And one of the cities close to us was Hanford, California. Now, right away, without reading the article, people were going, and literally there was 3 guys that said, bullshit. Absolutely crap, nonsense. And it's like, okay, did you read the article? Now, even somebody said, well, why would they come in and bomb or terrorize Hanford? That's stupid. No, did you read the article? Do you know what's near Hanford, California? Lemoore. All right. Now, right away, it was not easy. I went to Google, typed in Lemoore, pilots that were involved in shooting in missile attacks on, and boom, an article came up and I posted it. Lemoore Navy pilots were involved in bombings in Syria that came in a lot of them actually from a couple aircraft carriers, and they were from Lemoore. Well, their families live in Hanford. That's why Hanford is on that list. Los Angeles wasn't on there. San Diego wasn't on there. But even Robert Scott said that he noticed the 5 cities in Texas, those were all military-based families. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what they were. So it makes sense. And then it hit me. Again, I tend to remember things that don't make sense. That, boy, that was freaking odd. And what hit me was, I'm going to say 2, 3, 4 years ago, there was an incident that occurred in one day where trucks were left on the train tracks and Amtrak cars hit them. And this happened in Hanford, both in one day. And I said, what? That is just way too coincidental. But this happened way before all this occurred. And I got a call coming in that's just blocked. I'm not going to answer it because it's blocked. So I wanted, people were just, a matter of fact, I had to block somebody, and I'll tell you who I blocked. One of the persons is, him actually, and he's from the Bay Area or Sacramento. Not Mike, but somebody else. Matter of fact, I think he has RSD as well as you. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay. He actually made a stupid comment. Very stupid. Stupid. I just blocked him right there. I said, I don't need this. I don't. All right? Again, he mentioned something about, fear-mongering, Fox News. And if he would only have read the damn article and knew it was for real and how 2 + 2 = 4 and all this makes sense. It was military bases and military families around that area. All right?
Like the one that they're saying right now, we don't need to worry about ISIS and stuff like that. We need to worry more about climate change.
Well, you know who said that?
To me, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Well, Bernie Sanders said that. He was asked, which is more deadly, climate change or the terrorists coming over here? And he said, climate change. Bernie Sanders said that.
That's crazy.
That's absolutely stupid, idiotic, and whoever votes for him is stupid and idiotic. Sorry, that comment right there is just really.
Well, NASA
climate change, and they've already said it's debunked. There's no such thing as climate change. The Antarctic right now, the ice is growing at a rapid rate that they've never seen it grow. Climate change, my ass, guys.
Well, there is kind of like climate change, but it's those guys spraying these chemtrails and stuff.
And it's all Bernie Sanders there because isn't he like a congressman?
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
well then shut up, Bernie. You're the one who's doing it.
He maybe want us to believe it's that, because they're not going to stop doing it.
No,
we're going to get attacked, and we're going to get attacked.
How can you say that the climate change is much worse than terrorists attacking the United States? That's just the most stupidest, idiotic statement I have ever heard right there. And it's fact. He actually said that, guys. Go Google it. Now, the media...
Climate change is not fact yet.
No. Media is not going to even say anything about this only because the media is all run by the same people, liberal media. They're not, because Bernie Sanders and Hillary are running for the Democratic side of the presidency. So they're not going to say what he said, but it's absolutely fact what he said. I don't know. Let me see. Climate change or a terrorist walking into your child's school and killing all the kids. What would you rather have? Climate change or somebody not? You know what I'm saying? What's deadlier? Your child being killed by a terrorist in the school, or climate change? Think about it.
You know what's scary? You talk about the child thing. Like in America, and I know we have a lot of people from all over the world watching us, so this is going to be a shocking thing to some people. In America, we can't even let our kids walk 7 or 8 blocks to school because they'll be molested. Somebody will molest. If you try to do that for a whole year, something will happen to your kids, right? In Israel, they do it all the time. Nobody gets molested over there. Nobody. That's how they have such a different mindset in that country.
Well,
And in some of the others. But I mean, our country, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't over here. It really is like, it used to be really cool. It's not so good.
It's time for me to go get a concealed weapon permit.
I agree.
I think I'm going to go ahead and make the call this week. It's time. And
well, especially now that you're going on TV.
Okay.
I mean, I've been harassed at some streetlights already. And I'm thinking the same thing.
So, it's going to get scary, you guys. I don't know. I'm scared for my children. It's scaring the you know what out of me. And you know, my wife's a school teacher, and I work for AT&T Telephone. They do not allow us to carry weapons on the property whatsoever. I cannot, if my vehicle's parked in the parking lot at AT&T, I can't have a weapon in it.
Even if you're concealed carry.
Even if you concealed carry, yeah. So
company policy.
Yep. Now, if I park it on the street, it'll be a different story.
It has to be.
Okay.
Only I don't know if I would leave it in your car.
Well, see, that's it. I can't take it anywhere else and put it in. I can't take it in the van, in the AT&T van, or else they'll fire me so fast, and it wouldn't even take 2 seconds to.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to that. You know, and obviously, you know, teachers, principals, vice principals, you know, they really need, unfortunately, to turn this around and you know what's gonna. I'm sorry, what I'm about to say, but it's fact that a disaster of a magnitude of many people dying and even children is going to have to occur in order for people to step back and say, we need to do something about this as far as protecting our children. I mean, look at what happened in Merced for all those who are, I mean, this was like United States. This was like big time news where the guy in Merced City College took out a knife and started stabbing all these people. And people were saying, actually, the FBI said there's nothing to it. There's nothing as far as terrorist or anything like that. Bull crap. They finally came out and said afterwards that we think this guy is a terrorist. And he just used a knife instead of a gun. You know, I don't care if you take all the guns away. There's still other weapons that they can use.
They'll have guns.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have guns. You know, it's just, you know, France is... weapons are illegal there.
Right.
Okay, but only certain people can have them.
Yeah.
And, you know, if somebody in the theater was even one person, if they had a concealed weapon or even a bouncer or a security guard were to have at least one weapon, he could have taken, if he was a good shot and he could have snuck up on these 2 or 3 guys in there with AR-15, he could have took them all out. Bam, 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 boom. He might have maybe killed or wounded maybe a spectator in the process. But how many people died in that theater? A lot, guys. Like 60 to 80 people, I believe, died in that theater. If one person, if 2 people, if 3 people had weapons in there, like the owners, they could have taken these guys out. There was people there. They were shooting one after the other after the other. And there was absolutely nothing these kids could do to save their lives. They were dying one right after the other. It was incredible.
Let's see, it's 559
287
287
8367. That's our 24-hour hotline and our hotline here if you want to call in, 559 287 8367. So, you know.
But you have to be unblocked.
Yeah, you have to be unblocked. You know, we are talking about this, guys, because, you know, we've had prep shows here before.
Yeah, we have.
Last year, 2 years ago. And actually, they're doing really well on the internet, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. And I went all out. I told you exactly what I have, what I purchased, and I blew a lot of people away. A lot of people made fun of me. All right? But make fun of me. I don't care. All right? Now, are these terrorists that are here in the United States, and they're going to hit us here soon. excuse me, they're going to hit us here soon. I guarantee you they are. I guarantee you they are. But now the question is, who are they going to attack and for what reason? Okay, can they take out the infrastructure? Absolutely. If they know exactly what, big towers to hit as far as the lines that come in that feed, certain. Because I remember when I was living in Los Angeles, it was in the 90s. Let's see, hold on. They found the pilot from OPM Hack, bro. OPM Hack. They found the pilot info from OPM Hack, bro. OPM Hack. What's that?
Beats me.
So somebody hacked in. Is that what you're trying to get at? See, they said. Let me go ahead and. Somebody just texted me some information. See, they found the pilot info from the OPM hack. Okay, so so somebody hacked something. OPM, what's that? I don't know what those three letters are for. Can you spell that out for me? OPM? I'm not sure what that is. But so they did get the pilot info, obviously, from somebody. I mean, from somewhere. So it is legit. All right. Now, we're just talking about that pilot situation. Now, prepping shows. We did some prepping shows a while back, and I literally brought in everything that I had that I went and purchased. And if you guys want to go back, and you could go to YouTube, you'll have to just look for prepping. There's two of them that I did, part 1 and a part 2. And I think they were really they were really good ones because we have a lot of people who actually there's a lot of numbers. I mean, the views on them are pretty good. So. Okay, the person who's calling right now, you're coming in, it's blocked. I'm not going to answer it until you unblock your call. Okay, just letting you know right now. Whoever's calling in, it's blocked. I'm not going to answer it until you unblock your call. Now,
how do you do that? Like star 69 or
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So, okay, let's continue on. Last week, somebody called. Oh, back to those the missile that I was showing you guys. Let's go to here. And I showed you this picture, the missile shot from the submarine on November the 7th, 2015, right? Everybody saw that last Saturday, not yesterday, but the past Saturday. Now, you guys remember 5 years ago that a missile was shot off the coast of the Pacific Ocean right around the same area. And people the military were denying it. They were saying it was China, blah, 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 blah. And, I didn't put the freaking date up. I put the wrong one. Okay, well, anyways, let's see. Let me go back to, gosh darn, I can't believe I posted that one. All right, hold on. November the 7th. The missile that was shot off the coast of the Pacific Ocean 5 years ago was done on November the 6th. 1 day difference, 5 years apart.
Well, I was reading.
Now, is that a coincidence? I think it was done on purpose. I don't know why.
I was reading that the base off California was cleared by Palladians. There was a bad alien base mixed with United States military stuff, and but only it was being ran by a bad race.
Okay.
And the good race came in and cleared it, and a missile was fired off, but they destroyed it. There's actually 2 missiles fired, and they destroyed both of them. But they actually shut the base down, and they warped out and put the other bad race under arrest or something like somewhere. They, pushed them through a wormhole thing and
what?
Sent them off to wherever they keep these people, and now they have them, and they shut it down. And actually, supposedly, this dude was bad, like a king over the whole earth for thousands of years, and they shut him all the way down.
Okay, well, we got a call coming in from Washington. You are on Washington. Who's this?
Hi, is this Paranormal Central?
This is Paranormal Central. You're live on the air. Who's this?
Oh, hey. Oh, this is Jevin Moore. I'm Ghost Spooner in the chat room.
Cool. And you're calling from Washington, right?
Yeah.
Right on. Go ahead. You're on the air. What's up?
Hey, guys. Ghost Spooner here. I'm in chat.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. We're
here.
We're listening.
We're listening to hear what
Oh,
you got to
okay.
say.
Okay. Look, I had a question about gray aliens that have been bugging me a long time, for years.
Okay.
Can they experience emotion?
I heard they can, kinda, but they don't show it. They have like a
Yeah, that's definitely true. They do not micro-express whatsoever.
right. Yeah, they can't show it. But I mean, I follow a lot of people that they channel the Greys and all these different ones. Like I was just talking about the Palladians or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't show emotion, but only they can become friends, and with them.
But see, I always heard the Palladians were the good ones.
Well, the Palladians is the ones that took out this bad king.
Gotcha.
Which was, by the way, the Greys,
Okay.
a king of the Greys, and they closed.
King of the
down.
Greys?
Yeah, well, actually, a king actually of the earth, like old time king that was ruled humankind, and wound up getting pushed down under the ground, and his main base was off of California, and that rocket we saw was supposedly something somebody set off, and it was supposed to intend damage, but they stopped. The Palladians took care of it. 2 of them.
Yeah, that was not a rocket. I've seen rockets launched off the coast of California before. That was not a rocket.
Yeah, me too, and I never seen one like that either, but they say it was. They say actually it looked like a rocket until it was attacked and started blowing up. That's when it stopped looking like a rocket. That's what I hear.
That matter of fact, there's a video out there that shows a light going by this rocket, and then that's when the rocket explodes into its different stages. But I think that light is just a star out in the far distance, and when the rocket's actually coming at you and the star is in one position, it looks like the star was moving around the rocket. Just the way it if you look at it, it's not a UFO. Okay, it isn't. It's a star way in the background, and it just so happens that when, depending on where you're at in videotaping, when this rocket is coming towards you, and all of a sudden it gets right in front of the star, sort of kind of, it looks like it, but it isn't. Now, I don't know how, or I'm not going to put my 2 cents as far as, because I don't know, people are saying it's a rocket, so be it. I still, and Smokey Man seems to think, it was a missile shot, Trident missile shot out of the submarine, and headed that way. And again, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know.
I think it was definitely some sort of vehicle heading upwards.
Huh?
But, I don't think it was a standard ICBM from a submarine.
I don't know. Smoky Man guy says that they were testing something, part of Jade Helm, and that's what he thinks it was, because it was going towards inland, which has never been done before. But people are saying that it wasn't shot inland; it was shot the other way towards the Pacific Ocean.
When you look at some of the pictures, it looks like it was going to the Pacific Ocean.
See, and that's just. So I don't know. I don't know what.
Well, I don't know either. I haven't lived in California for like 10 years.
Yeah, if I was in LA, then it'd be a different story. I could tell you right offhand which way it was going. But the only thing I witnessed was the green mist that it left behind. That's the only thing I saw. So,
it left a green mist?
Yeah, after it in the atmosphere, because the sun still sunset, and the sunset, the sun was going down, but being that it was so high in the atmosphere, whatever it left behind, the sun was still hitting it, and you can see it up in the atmosphere because the angle of the sun is still but it was visible. It was visible 4 states that mist, green mist, because the sun was still hitting it, and that's why the exhaust part, the smoke part, or whatever it was. But anyways, yeah, I don't know.
Well, can I get back to my question? The alien that I saw, there was 2 of them, and one was really mad at me for something, and it expressed such a deep and encompassing level of anger that it frightened me to death, and it's always stayed with me since I was a kid living in Bakersfield. So that's where it happened at. And that's what I also wanted to ask you about, is if you remember hearing about any UFOs over Bakersfield, California in the early 90s. So this thing was chased by Apache helicopters. I'm not kidding. They came over the neighborhood when this thing came down on us. I was wondering if you guys ever heard of that.
I was in LA at the time, and I was not involved in this stuff at all back then. So
Yeah, I
couldn't.
find any thing about it on the internet. No bio reports or anything.
Yeah.
And these Apache helicopters had loudspeakers and were telling everybody in the neighborhood to stay inside. Even though me and my whole family came out into the backyard wondering what the hell's going on.
Really?
And
Did you see the craft itself?
yes.
What describe it?
Well, it was triangular, and it was black with 3 bright lights, and I remember seeing a red one here somewhere in the center. But definitely had a big bright light in the center. Well, hi, Kitty.
Well,
I love you too.
that sounds like one of our vehicles, the TR3B.
Well, yeah, that's what's confusing me because, after we sent it upon us in the back when we were out in the backyard, everything went to black, and then I saw my windowsill to my bedroom, my window frame, nothing else, just a black void, and my window frame and my room inside the window, and I floated into it, and the way my bed was positioned, I sleep on it with my feet facing the window, and I came into my room. I don't remember passing through the window or how, but next thing I know, I'm on my bed, my feet to the window, and I look out past my feet, and right outside my window, looking at me, are these 2 large grays staring at me. And one on my left was fine, but the one on my right was really mad at me, and I could never figure out why.
Then,
And it always bothered me.
when you say mad, was it like, did it give you a facial expression mad, or was it just the vibe that you got?
Vibe, like when I looked at him, it allowed me to sense its enormous, vast anger.
Wow.
And I've never known a living being can be this angry before. It scared the hell out of me.
Right.
Well, good question. Obviously, if it was upset at you, then that wasn't the first time it has been in contact with you, I'm thinking.
I'm pretty sure they used to visit me when I was a kid.
Okay. Then obviously you did something to piss it off. I don't know.
Yeah, and you still could be visited.
Oh, yeah.
And not know. Something we found with these things is it follows family lines, and a lot of times people won't even know for years that they've been being abducted, and then they'll remember something, and all of a sudden a lot of memories come flooding back. You know what I mean?
I did not remember this event for years, and it slowly surfaced over the years. But one weird thing about it was that one gray being really mad at me, and I feel guilty.
Well, I
wish I knew why I made him mad.
I don't know.
I apologize to him.
Well, maybe. Have you? You say you don't live in Bakersfield anymore. You live in Washington. Have you witnessed anything crazy up there?
No, it's been dead quiet and boring up here.
Okay. Well, that could be a good thing.
Well, I have some friends.
Yeah, I guess.
I have some friends having Bigfoot trouble up there.
Yeah, I want to get into squatching next year and go look for Bigfoot.
He's in the little bit outside Portland, and he's telling me he's been there now 4 years, and in this time of the year around the rut, when the deer and the elk and everything go into rut, they start having problems. And the Bigfoots come through and scream at them. Sometimes it sounds like the Bigfoot, he said that it'll be standing on their porch and scream so loud that it sounds like it's in the house, and it scared them for the first 2 or 3 years. Now it's not so scary. Now they're trying, I've talked them into buying recorders and stuff like that to see if they can get some evidence for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the fall. So
yeah, the fall.
Yeah, all the Bigfoots will probably be out, exploiting all the farmland that's ready to harvest.
Right.
Probably be coming out of the mountains and stuff.
Yep.
I know up here, we get a lot of apple orchards up here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure they're coming out of the woodwork to these apple orchards
Absolutely.
to get them.
Heck yeah.
One of my little nephews or cousin or something like that, he was with his grandpa on the farm, and they saw one, and he wasn't going to say nothing, and his grandpa told him, don't say anything. And I guess they seen it several times. And finally he opened up to his dad and told his dad, blew everybody away because they weren't telling anyone,
Right.
But the grandpa still says he didn't see nothing, He's like, he's kicking the kid under the bus.
People who don't believe in this stuff will deny because it's something that they cannot comprehend. The reality is going to change if they accept and acknowledge it, man. They're going to have to. I mean, there's no way. So, all right, hey, I appreciate you.
Yeah, a lot of people can't handle cryptids.
No, there's no way.
No.
Paranormal in general. All right, hey, I appreciate you calling in tonight. Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'll see you here on the live stream here.
Absolutely. Thank you. See ya.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So, let's get back to just talking about things in general. Last week, we get a lot of emails here. And I keep forgetting to talk about this, but we talked about Robert Thorson. Yeah. And I actually had a couple of nurses text me or send me about his the way he looked. And the nurses are pretty much telling me that I was right on the money.
Yeah, he didn't get hit
He
by a car.
didn't get hit by a car. Cause he would have had road rash
and
all that on him, and he didn't have anything of that nature on him. That basically he got the SHIT beat out of him, and he's keeping quiet about it.
Well, he might not remember, so you can't speak about things if you don't remember.
They could have injected him with something.
Could have.
And beat the crap out of him and break his hand so he couldn't record it anymore. The question is, I would like to know what they prevented from him recording that week or a month after they kicked his butt. Because that month was when we were really announcing to everybody the September 23rd and all that, the 28th, something was going to happen, something was going to come through. And it's just so by coincidence that a week before that is when he got his butt kicked. So anyways.
Well, I'm starting to figure out that, like we say, something September 23rd, the date, they don't necessarily mean right on that date is something going to happen catastrophically to wipe out everybody, right?
Right.
But usually it really is something did happen, something like maybe portals opened, so things are happening and they're going to continue to happen. You know what I mean? It's like there's not any one thing you can say this is it, but there's a bunch of things that happened and they're going to continue to happen.
Right.
And maybe that, just something opened or something thinned, and everybody thought it was like that day. It was like 2012, everybody was it?
I got
2000. Everybody thought the world was going to end with the KY thing.
Got a call coming in from California. I missed the city. Who is this? You're on the air.
Hi, this is JP.
JP.
JP from where, California?
Yeah, I'm in Northern California.
Right on. You're on the air. Go for it. What's up?
What show is this? Paranormal Central?
Yes, it is.
Right on. I've been listening. And I was curious about those lights the other night. There was one on Monday night a friend of mine called me and said, Jay, look at that red light. Well, by the time I got out there, it was kind of south, and I took some pictures with my Rebel, my digital camera, and I looked around. Nobody else heard anything about it, and it was like a streak, a red, real bright red streak. Have you heard anybody else seen it that night?
No. What day was this?
It was Monday. Oh no, excuse me. I believe it was Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday night because I remember him saying, "Oh, Monday was the last night. We're not gonna launch no more." And then, sure enough, there was something. I can send you some pics. I get your email or something, but I don't know what it was, man.
Good question. I don't know. This is the first I've heard of it, and I didn't see anything on the internet that had to do with any sighting in Northern California, not unless I missed it, which very possibly could have happened. If you want, go ahead and you can text them to me at the number you just called, if you can, or if not, you can email me. Email them.
No. Yeah, that's cool. Let me text. I'll text them, but I'll take your email also. Okay, bro.
All right. It's Sanger Paranormal at AOL.com.
All right. Man, I sure appreciate you guys. You guys have, I've been listening to you for a while here this year or so, and there's a lot of shows out there, but I appreciate your local contact here and the things you guys are doing. I know you must go through hell just in life trying to stay on the front lines and, expose the truth and all that kind of good stuff, or expose the lies, I'm sorry. But, man, I appreciate what you guys do, and I appreciate what you bring and you put in the airwaves and what you bring to our spirits, man.
Well, hey, I appreciate that big time. You won't. It means a lot because, like I said, at one point many years ago, I didn't think people would be into what we were doing here. But now it's like we're doing something right. People dig it. People are getting it. People enjoy it, and we're finding out from a lot of people. Just like you, and we appreciate it. Means a lot. It does, because it tells us that we're doing something right.
Yeah, when we come across like the adversities and stuff, it's like guys that say things like you do make us want to beat the adversity and keep going.
When I was listening to you guys on the show, I can almost feel in each of your personal lives there must have been these walls or these holes that these traps, these obstacles that just hit you, and I can't imagine the fight. And in my little world, and my little consciousness and awareness, and trying to wake up, I know the battles that I face, and I can't imagine, man. I just send out some prayers and some love to you guys, and please keep doing what you're doing. And thank you so much for what you do, brother.
Wow, that's just crazy. I appreciate that a lot. You wouldn't believe how much that hits me. Thank you very much for saying that. Appreciate it. And we're not going to stop.
No.
We're not going to stop. Thank you.
There was... you're welcome. One more thing I was going to say, we've all been touched by Art Bell. And, 20-something years ago, I was working for a helicopter logging outfit up in Washington. And I was staying on the hill, and the guys would leave on the weekends. And I was 2 hours away from the nearest town. We were logging for pulling out Mount St. Helens. And, man, all I had was Art Bell on the radio up there, and it was just so, it was so personal, it was so powerful, and it was so beautiful what he woke me up to. But, you guys being here in the valley, and you guys being close, and, somebody we can contact and, almost touch, stop by and see sometimes, man, it's just right here in our backyard, have you fellas, and man, just keep that torch burning, brothers. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Wow. Thank you very much, dude. Appreciate that big time. Thank you.
Okay, I'll shoot you some pics, and we'll be in touch, brother.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Have a good night.
You too. And that's why we do this. All right. And we're going to keep on doing it. Whether some of the subjects you think that we shouldn't be talking about, I personally think we should be talking about them, and we are. And I think that's what keeps us different from a lot of those other shows is we talk about the things that people don't want to hear. It's as simple as that. Now, it's kind of a coincidence that, we talk about, and you guys know I talk about the Illuminati and the rock stars, and I brought up Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, and many of times, and I constantly bring them up more than a lot of the other rock stars, and it's just weird that a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and right around the time where, I'm aware of the other shows and what they talk about, and I don't hear it very often or in any how other shows talk about the Illuminati and the rock stars and all this. It's like we really push that subject matter here big time. We do. Even though Katy Perry is involved, I still talk about it. Now, 3 weeks ago, just out of the blue, Lady Gaga came out and said she's done with music. And I said, huh? What? I want you to hear something. I want you to hear Lady Gaga pretty much talk. I'm thinking she's talking about the Illuminati, guys. You take a listen. I don't hear. What the hell is that? Oh.
I have had to make decisions like, why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie Gaga, hybrid person.
All right, well, let's stop
Why
right
are you
there.
unhappy?
Let's stop right there. See what
I have had to make decisions like, why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie Gaga, hybrid person. Why are you unhappy? Why is it that you want to quit music a couple years ago? It's like, well, I really don't like selling these, fragrances, perfumes. I don't like wasting my time spending days just shaking people's hands and smiling and taking selfies. It feels shallow to my existence. I have a lot more to offer than my image. I don't like being used to make people money. I feel sad when I'm overworked and that I've just become a money-making machine and that my passion and my creativity take a back seat. That makes me unhappy. So what did I do? I started to say, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm not taking that picture. I'm not going to that event. I'm not standing by that because that's not what I stand for. And slowly but surely, I remembered who I am. And then you go home and you look in the mirror and you're like, yes, I can go to bed with you every night. Because that person, I know that person. That person has balls. That person has integrity. That person has an opinion. That person doesn't say yes. That person doesn't get a text from somebody and say, oh my God, they wrote this and they sent this emoji. Should I write this back? What do you think? Is that okay to say? Are they going to like me if I say that? Should I say something different? This is the age that we live in. We're not actually communicating with each other. We are unconsciously communicating lies.
Lady Gaga. She is pretty much saying no more to, I believe, to them, to the people who own the music business, and that is the Illuminati. For all those, and I posted up pictures of her with the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. It's all over her music videos. It's all over her attire, the stuff that the clothing that she wears. It was not held back at all by her. I mean, she would wear that stuff day after day after day to make sure that you would see the symbolisms and the logos from the Illuminati in her music videos everywhere.
Well, if she was being controlled,
oh yeah,
they were making her wear it.
Now, since she has come out against, now I wonder what's going to happen to her. I would definitely, for all those who know what we talk about and talk about the Illuminati here, keep an eye on her now.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, keep an eye on her friends. Keep an eye on. She just got married not too long ago from one of the guys from Vampire Diaries, I believe, and Cheryl would know this, but he's from the Vampire Diaries. He's one of the guys, one of the vampires, I think. One of the head guys in there. But she married him. If she is not doing this the music industry stuff that you're supposed to do when you sign on the dotted line, don't be surprised that something's going to happen to her. Just like Katy Perry's makeup artist or John Kerry's girlfriend, about the vaccinations and all that. And we've talked about that. So just keep an eye on Lady Gaga, you guys, seriously. And let's see if I'm not saying I hope something happens to her. I'm just saying keep an eye on her. Because usually when you back out of a contract, when you stop making money for them, that's a big time no-no. Especially her, because she was selling out arenas, like she said, perfumes. She was, it was nonstop promotion for her and her whatever she was selling to make money. That money does not go to her, not all of it, anyways. So just keep an eye on Lady Gaga. I'm telling you that right now.
They usually try to keep you in debt. You know what I mean? Like they always are constantly reminding you that they supplied you with the bus and they supplied you this, and when you did the album, it costed X amount of dollars.
Well, you had to pay. You had to pay all that back.
I know.
Oh no,
So what they do is they constantly keep you in debt so that you have to always go.
Well,
when they say go, you go because you're in debt.
And exactly, and those are for the people who don't make it, though, quite like Katy Perry and Lady Gaga. Those people usually break even, but yes, you're right. They got to keep on going so they could pay out the debt and just keep on playing.
That's why you hear those 80-year-old, Willie Nelson saying, "I'm still playing because I owe,"
Right.
And I gotta go.
You said the Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah, the Traveling Wilburys.
I completely forgot about them, and that because you were mentioning Willie Nelson was in one. Was in that. Who are the? Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Willie Nelson.
What was his name? Roy Orbison.
Oh.
One of the Beatles was in it.
George Harrison.
George Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't. And two of those right off the bat, have signed their life away. Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Bob
for
Dylan.
a fact.
Yeah, and Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson.
Yeah, Willie
sure.
Nelson and Bob Dylan. Absolutely.
He did do a video saying the same thing as Bob Dylan. I'm almost exactly saying the same thing.
Last week, we got a call from a gentleman. I don't remember where, but he said that he sent us a photograph with his mom,
Yeah,
I believe.
remember that,
Okay,
yeah.
and she took a photograph on this property that belonged to them or something like that. And she took a photograph of this shack or little house or whatever it was. And around the corner, peeking around the corner, there was this object with a hat. And I finally got the picture, and I'm going to show you it right now. I don't know what to make of it. She said, or he said, it wasn't there when she took the photograph. But supposedly there have been a lot of bad things that happened on the site. Did he say Native American?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here is the picture in question.
Is there a way to roll into that? Like I've looked at that and looked at that.
You don't see that right there?
I thought that was part of the barn.
Oh, okay. This is what he's talking about.
So it looks like somebody's holding a hat on the side of the barn.
Okay. This I don't know what this says down here. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Now I'm looking at this right here. This looks like sort of devil horn. Did you see that? Like a devil horns cow head maybe right there. Do you guys see that? I'm circling. Let me pull the mouse away. I don't know if it's just, but since I'm moving in and closer to it.
I thought he said he could see eyes and all that.
Well, these yellow things maybe to him were considered eyes. I don't know. But I don't know what that could be. That's what he's talking about. That's the hat. But I don't know what this is here at the bottom. I don't know.
Interesting.
This is the photograph he's talking about, guys. And I just wanted to show it to you because I told you I would. And there it is. Now, what is this? I don't know. Okay, go back to us. All right. So let me go back to my stuff on here. I got a picture a while back, and I've been meaning to show it, but it's like we talk about other things and we never have time. Somebody sent this photograph to me. Is it legit? I don't know, but I'm going to show it to you anyways because it is from our area. All right? This is a Sanger cemetery, and it looks like a burial.
Oh, I remember that one.
And I don't know, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys can see this. I don't know what this is. It's not a fire. They're not burning anything on the cemetery. It's not dust. Could it be the sun reflection? Sure, it could be the sun reflection off the lens of the camera. But there you go. And now it looks like it's not closer to that, but I can see it right here. Like it's actually, it could be smudges on the lens. I don't know. But I just wanted to show it to you because they brought it to my attention. Okay. All right. So there you go. I just wanted to show that to you. All right. Go back to, oh my God, Alan disappeared. Oh, Alan had to go do a potty break. He'll be back. You know, somebody keeps calling and it's blocked. I'm not going to answer it until you unblock your call, just to let you know. All right. What time is it? Oh, it's 8 o'clock. So we got about 50 minutes left. We'll go ahead and start taking calls if you guys want to call in. Again, your phone number, when you call in, the phone number has to be unblocked. Can't say blocked or else I'm not going to answer it. The number is 559-287-8367. 559-287-8367 if you want to call and talk about something. We were just talking about a little while ago, somebody sent me how the hackers got a hold of the list of the pilots, and somebody sent me the what those three letters for the OPM is the Office of Personal Management. And so somebody hacked into that and retrieved somehow the list of pilots that were involved in the bombings of the training camps in Syria of the terrorists. And that's how they got the names. Boy, you would think that something like that would be confidential and be totally top secret. And here, somebody got hold of the list through hacking through their computer system. And now you have the pilots and their families in danger. Good going there, our government. Do you think you would be able to keep that totally away from everybody? But then again, who would have ever thought that somebody would go and hack and get those names? How would you even go about trying, to go look for names like that? That's crazy. But they did it. And now they're warning, the people or the pilots and their families. Crazy, huh? Wow. Okay. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? I'm going into right now my list of questions and stuff to talk about. November. So where are we at right now? We're in what's the date today? I don't even know what the date today is. Today is the 15th. We're going to have a show the Sunday, the day of our debut on the CW in central part of California. We're going to go ahead and we're still going to have a show. I found out that the X-Files is coming back. The X-Files is coming back. Never come up, I think, but you had a trouble too. I think the X-Files is coming back on a 6-episode run. I think it's what it is, and they're gonna come in. It's gonna come on TV in January. Well, guess what? They're going to have the first episode on a Sunday at 7:00 p.m. during the show of our show. They're going to air the first episode of. Okay, we got another call coming in from California, Northern California, and you are on the air. Who's this?
Oh my God! It only took me an act of God to get the phone number unblocked.
That you, Bloating Zeppelin?
Yes, it is.
Well, I
Good
thought
Lord, I only tried 23 different times to try to work this stupid phone.
I thought it was a troll. I couldn't take the chance.
No, that's all right. I understand. Hey, number one, great news on your show. That's absolutely wonderful news on your show. I couldn't be happier for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've worked really hard to get to where we're at right now, and hopefully we can continue moving up the ladder. It's just one local, the TV show is local, Central California, but it reaches millions of people, and our intent is to go national and worldwide, and we're on our way.
I completely believe in you, and I completely believe in this essential mix. The topic is lots of people doing this right now, but I think that the thing that makes you guys so popular is the fact that you have a great interaction and a great mix between the two of you. And I think it's that chemistry that happens to work, and it works here on the internet, in streaming. I think it's going to work just as well on TV. But it's the chemistry and the interaction between you two that makes it work so wonderfully.
Wow.
And I think that's what people look forward to when they see you here on Sundays, and I think that's what people are going to look forward to when they see you on Sunday nights on TV.
That's cool. And like I told everybody, it's the first couple of episodes, since it's our first 2 episodes, we're shying back a little bit until we finally sign the actual contract and go national, then God willing worldwide. Then it will get very comfortable for us, and no holds. We're not going to hold anything back, and we're just going to have a good time, and everybody's going to see it, and it just like what we do here, and I think it's going to do really well. I really do, because I have a lot of ideas that I cannot tell people right now because I don't want people to steal them. But we're going to have a great time, and we're going to inform the world about what's happening out there, and I think, like you said, I think it's working. So there you go.
It's working very well, because you know for a fact that the topic itself and the topics that you guys are going to discuss are timely right now. Look at all these other people that are on various television shows and whatnot, and then after a while you step back and you look at them and you say, how is it that these particular nimnals happen to get on the television? The topics are all right, but they're not that good. The thing that you guys bring is the chemistry. You might be a little, it might be a little uncomfortable at first, but I have every confidence in you guys that you'll find your own skin, you'll find your own zone, and you'll find your own voice.
Right.
Well, I'll say that. You already have your own voice. It'll just be a matter of comfort, a comfort level that you will find and locate.
Right. And I think you're right. And again, though, it's up to the network on what they will allow us to talk about on TV. And I've said this to Ellen, that if we only get one season, 1 year on TV, and make a mark for us, because there are millions of people in the United States who don't know about us at all right now. If we can get on TV, and the America will know who Jeff and Ellen is on Paranormal Central. If we don't get a second season, then they will follow us to the internet. Those millions and millions of people will follow us to the internet and stay with us and continue on this journey here.
See, I say that we need to write a book. I mean, that seems like Nick Redfern does well with himself. I mean, yeah, and all he did was write a book. He hasn't really experienced anything.
And I asked him that too.
Yeah.
We have been on a ride, no question about it. There are things that have happened to us that I can only write in a book, and for you to read it and understand what has happened to us from the beginning to here would blow your freaking mind.
True.
With the things that we have seen, the people who have pulled us to the side and told us what exactly is going on in certain parts of the world. I mean, it's.
Well, this is BZ, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's how we met him. We were out.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, at the Sacramento UFO Con.
Yeah.
Right, it was the SAC UFO Con. You guys were doing a live show right on that little live dais just outside the conference room.
Right.
Yeah, they actually tried to hide us in there. They put us like around the corner, and I mean, we were right in the middle of everything, but only we weren't like visible. You know what I mean? But pretty soon, everybody found us. They all found us sooner or later, and it was kind of cool.
You guys could do a book. You have more than enough material, but the thing that I'd like to emphasize, you, Alan, and to Jeff, is the fact that the interaction between you two, the way you work so well, that, in my opinion, that is your key, and I would only hope and attempt to emphasize that you should keep that up. You work great together. You make a great team, and that is specifically why people want to listen to you.
Thank goodness.
Damn it, I was going to get rid of Alan last week.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep him.
Yep. Yeah,
and the other thing is, I'm glad I calmed down after all the things that occurred when various people were talking about Paris and whatnot. And you were talking about some things about possibly considering the purchase of a firearm. Well, number one, you're in California, so you're going to need it. Number two, times being as tempestuous as they are, yes, I would highly recommend a personal firearm. And don't just stop there. I'd also recommend that you get yourself an excellent defense weapon, which would be a shotgun.
Got it.
Loaded with some very specific rounds. You have a shotgun?
Got a 12 gauge, and I got a 30-06.
Great. A shotgun is a great defensive weapon. Get your ammunition in California now. Either that or go to Nevada and purchase, or Arizona, better yet, to purchase your ammunition. Because if Gavin Newsom has his way, he's going to put a ballot on very shortly, which will mean that you get backgrounded for the purchase of ammunition, just like you do firearms in the state of California. That's exactly what they want. If you can't kill the firearm itself, go for the ammunition.
Yeah, I mean,
it's exactly what California is attempting to do right now.
Man, is there a way to order like reloading supplies over the internet?
Oh, hell yes.
Back in the day when I was doing a lot of reloading, I just went to the gunsmith, right around the corner from my house. But nowadays, it seemed like online, a lot of people, there's some stuff I wanted to buy a PR-24 because I'm carded for life on that one, and I wanted a good aluminum one, and I can't even find one anymore.
Well, they're not very popular, so you're going to have a difficult time finding them. Once CHP kicked them to the curb, they weren't as very popular as they were in the past. You can still find them. They're going to be a little bit more difficult to locate. Jeffrey, I would completely agree with you. There's a very serious time coming. You can ascribe it to all sorts of interactions. It's been building for years. It's going to be a perfect storm. And for anybody here and across the United States listening, I would highly recommend that you become trained, well-trained, stocked, well-stocked in all forms of precious metals. I think you're doing yourself an extreme disservice if you don't do that. There are any number of ways that you can do that. I was an oath keeper. I just recently retired about 4 months ago from 41 years in law enforcement.
Wow. For
the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and 2 California agencies. And after that amount of time, I used to think that I could predict what was going to happen, and I cannot particularly do that now. All I know is that there is a cataclysm coming. I don't know what form it's going to take. I don't know how it's going to do it. I don't know particularly when, but sooner rather than later. It is, in fact, a perfect storm of coming events.
And I am scared to death, to be honest. I am.
Really? Like, you talk about this, like, I've been keeping up with BZ for a while, reading his blog. I don't always comment or anything, but you write some really good stuff and it's like cutting edge, really. So really, what I want you to do is share that, your blog site. And I wish we could write it in the chat, like put links in the chat. Only we can't.
Yeah, if links were enabled, my gosh, the things that everybody here in chat could do, it would be absolutely wondrous to substantiate the things that people are saying here. That would be wonderful.
Well, they say we could have it, but we got to pay $300 a month to have that, so it's not worth it to us.
Not right now, anyway.
$300 a month?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Clearly, I'm going to have to do something about that. As an aside, would you mind if I give you a call a little bit later, maybe tomorrow sometime, Alan?
Yeah, sure.
I think I have your phone number, because I'd like to help you with that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
But in any event,
you
I
could
would
still
highly,
give
I would highly recommend everybody
on the air. You could give
listening.
it.
This is a great show to listen to, and the reason that I like listening here is because you have such a wide array and variety of topical matter.
Yeah, you know, it gets boring. I listen to talk radio all the time, like for, I don't know. At first, I thought I was learning how to be a talk radio, you know, do it. But really, what I was learning is they get on one subject, and by the end of the week, you're so dead tired of that subject. I mean, you're ready to like beat the radio, even.
Right.
You know, I mean, they and then you turn it on like 3 weeks later, and it's almost like a soap opera. They're still doing that. You know, it's like
what we like to do here is give you info on stuff that you will not hear about anywhere else. And that's the whole idea here. I mean, the media is not going to talk about it. Other shows aren't going to talk about it. You're going to hear it first here. And we get a lot of slack about that because people don't believe it.
Yeah, they flack. You mean flack?
Flack. Yeah. And people don't believe it. And because we're the first ones talking about it, and they think we're smoking the crack, and but that's the whole idea. And like I said, you know, I appreciate the kind words. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. You know, the TV thing is something we have been working for a long time, and finally it is going to happen. And hopefully that it will take off from there, and we will get picked up by somebody very large in the industry and in Hollywood, and then we're gonna run for it, and we're gonna hit hard, and that's what our intent is, and I think it's gonna happen. I have a feeling. I have a strong feeling. So,
Destroy Eat a Joint just made an excellent observation here in chat. He said knowledge is power. Knowledge is absolute power. And the one thing that I'd like to emphasize to everybody here is don't just believe what you see in the U.S. media. I get a great deal of what I find on the internet from UK media, from German media, from Der Bild, from The Economist in the UK. I have an extreme, rather, distrust of the American media. I happen to call them the AMM, the American media maggots, because they feed off the carrion of what occurs here in the United States.
They do.
So knowledge is, in fact, power, which is why I would continue to recommend that everybody listen to you guys here, and don't just take whatever you hear, especially over American media, as the truth, because in my estimation, it quite is not.
Right. No, I agree. I totally agree. Don't believe what you hear at all on TV. I mean,
especially
have a wide mind, have an open mind.
Especially on
Don't
Facebook.
be like an American college campus.
Yeah.
Don't believe what you see on Facebook. Oh my God, that's really bad.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling and giving us those kind words. That's awesome. You know, you've been out there a long time, since almost the very beginning. I think it's been a while, so I appreciate it.
All right, gentlemen. Jeffrey, Allen, you guys take care.
Thank
Keep on
you.
keeping on.
Absolutely.
Take care, BZ.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, see you, gentlemen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We met him at the Sacramento UFO Con. SatCon, what was it called? SatCon?
It was the SatCon.
SatCon, and what year was that? You remember?
2012.
2012, really?
Yeah. You know what? I kind of was going back. I put on my Facebook Carrie Cassidy, and her. I don't know what her guy partner is, and I don't think they're lovebirds or anything. I think they're just like they do like we do, you know. But they had a split up over things, and I always wondered what it was, and you interviewed her. We got her to sit down, and she gave her viewpoints and stuff, and I found out that was what it was. Really, was her viewpoints. They both had really strong viewpoints, but they also ticked off everyone. They ticked off the Illuminati. They ticked off the government. They ticked off, everybody that they were talking with or doing interviews with.
Right.
Like super soldiers and time jumpers, and
they were really getting into subject matter that was almost non-believable.
Right, exactly.
They were talking about stuff that, when I tell you I'm on the crack, guys, you would listen to whoever they were interviewing, and you would say, meth, crack, and pot together with tequila and scotch.
Well, that was what their downfall was.
Right.
Was he didn't quite believe, like, she's all into the new age, touchy-feely, meditation stuff, and he was more like tangible, show me the evidence, more like we are.
I am like that.
That's more like us.
I need to see it. I need to really research it before I talk about it, or else I'm embarrassed to talk about it because I'm afraid it's going to be absolutely false, and I'm going to make an ass out of myself. And
what's interesting is she actually had started getting life threats, death threats, and I hear not so much now, anymore. But only she's still that scared her so bad that she went to the back burner. You know what I mean? Like, she used to be way more prominent on YouTube and on the internet and going to these shows and stuff like that. And
so what does she do now? I mean,
she still does them, but only it's way less and not as controversial. And that, like, they could death threat us, and that probably won't stop. I mean, it doesn't do much to me. I mean, I'm living on borrowed time anyways, so, they could death threat me, but they'd have to do something a lot worse.
Oh, if we're going to get death threats, and the only way that can happen is if they send us something or whatever, then I would notify media personnel who are really good friends of mine. And I've said this about 4 years ago, and I think I should say it again. We talk about subjects here that probably we should not talk about. Like tonight, I swear to you guys, and you guys all know I'm a God-fearing person, I'm swearing to God right now that the Skype went out. All right, that has never happened to us since we've started. Maybe one time, but I don't know if it was because our internet shut down. But the Skype actually shut down when we were talking about the terrorist thing.
Well, I think it happened, and we were running on a lesser.
Oh, lesser, right.
And then when we turned on the camera and sent the video feed, bam, bumped off the Skype.
Exactly.
Right? Or vice versa, it would bump them off.
But I went and I spent some extra money, guys, and I have 100 meg through Comcast, and that's what we're shooting right now in our studio.
Yeah, it's way plenty.
So I know, and besides, if when we lost Skype a little while ago, it wasn't the internet, because live stream is still up and running, and that was going through the internet as well. So for Skype to completely stop broadcasting and that's, for those who don't know, we have two internet feeds going out. One to live stream, and the other one is to the Dark Matter Digital Network through Art Bell, and we're sending them a Skype audio feed. And that's how they are broadcasting it through their servers. That shut down. And I don't know if you heard it, Keith. He actually came on. What happened? I don't know, man. We didn't touch anything. Swear to you, we didn't touch anything. No,
and I've been watching it closely too ever since. And, I mean, usually there's it has a little counter, and you're on as long as it's still counting.
See,
it's been an hour and 42 minutes.
We really haven't been harassed hard like a lot of these other people have. Sure,
I have a little bit.
Okay, as far as me, no, not really. My phone has been shut off a couple times when I'm trying to get some information, but nothing major. And I have made this public. When I first started doing this on the show, this show on the internet, people come to me and tell me this unbelievable information about where I live, about Fresno, and what's here and what's around us. And I have information and photographs that were given to me that I decided to make six copies now. And all this information about subject matter that would blow you away I have included these in 5 packages, and I have given these sealed 5 packages to 5 very important people. And I have instructed these 5 very important people that if something ever happened to me, that they are now authorized to open these packages and let out the information that that was given to me that now they have in their possession, so they can blow the lid wide open. All right? And I think when I said that 4 or 5 years ago, things have, I mean, like I said, I have not been attacked. I have not been given any threats. Granted, we are trolled left and right. Like tonight on chat, I believe somebody was on there trolling
a little bit.
And you know who's trolling us are other podcast shows that involve almost the same subject matter as we have here. They are, and I know who they are, and I'm not going to give them any time on the airways. I'm not, because that's what they want us to do.
Yeah, even if we knew and we were complaining, we're still giving them time.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do that, guys. All right, but people are not liking what we're doing because look where we're at right now. Seriously, guys. I mean, we're doing really well on the Dark Matter Digital Network through Art Bell. We just got the okay. We're going to be put on the CW for possibly millions of households if they want to see us. That doesn't happen. Show me another paranormal show that had gotten that opportunity to be put on a major TV show like that, network, station. I don't know. Has that? I haven't seen it. It's usually just on cable. Either the Destination America, National Geographic, Discovery, or whatever. But hopefully something will happen here pretty soon. But like I said, I haven't received any death threats. Nothing quite like that at all has come close to me. And I wonder it's because I have protected. I don't know. They could probably take me out if they want. But if they do, then these 5 or 6, 6 packages are going to be authorized to get let out. And then all hell's going to break loose. So, that being said...
Okay, got a good question.
Okay.
And me and Jeff have talked about this, too. Do paranormal researchers have things follow them home?
I want to say yes on my part. And I'm going to say it's because the only thing that I've ever had follow home to my house is the little black boy in the ambulance. And for all those who don't know about that story, I'm going to say it really quick again, really fast. Those who don't know, I have a research vehicle that's not running right now, but it's an old 1985 ambulance, working ambulance that used to be here in Fresno, California, that was an operational ambulance, that went out to dispatch on whatever. I found an old ambulance at a garage, and I purchased it, put a new engine in it, all the whole 9 yards. I brought it home. My son was 3 years old at the time, maybe 2 years old, and I had brought it and I parked it out in front of the cul-de-sac. I have cameras. I have video cameras, guys, all over my house. All right. And one video camera was facing the cul-de-sac where the ambulance was parked on the street. And my son, who was, again, 2 or 3 years old, I have a monitor that's right in the family room near the big TV where the front camera, we can look at what's happening in the cul-de-sac. And my son, when he was 2 or 3, I don't remember how old, he walked up to the TV monitor and he said, "Daddy, what's that little boy doing by the ambulance?" And I went, "Huh?" And my wife Cheryl looked at me, and we looked at the monitor, and we didn't see anybody. And we're going, "Christian, where?" He goes, "He's right there, Dad. He's right there." And we're looking at the TV monitor, and he's like, "We don't see anything." And I don't know who was. I don't know if it was me or Cheryl. We ran to the front window. We opened the curtain, and we're looking out there, and the ambulance is sitting right there. And we're saying, Christian, where? Right there. And he doesn't have any clothes on. And we're all, huh? And he said he was a little black boy, and he didn't have any clothes on. And I looked at Cheryl, and I said, oh, crap. And like I said, he was still a baby, 2 or 3 years old, barely walking. He could barely talk, but he knew what an ambulance was and all that. And what our thoughts on that is, and, Alan brought up the question, do things follow you home? Well, I think since this was a real ambulance back in the days and was, going out, picking up sick people, picking up dead people, I think this little boy probably died in the ambulance and stayed with that ambulance. And my son said he didn't have any clothes on. So maybe they were working on the little boy in the ambulance and he didn't have any clothes on. And that's what he was looking at, because he said the little boy was on the sidewalk near the ambulance looking at the house. Now, the little boy has also been seen in our house right after that. And my son would say stuff that would creep us out. And he said that, I can't remember now, it's been a long time, but I vaguely remember him saying that he was walking upside down or doing some crazy crawling that was scaring him. And he would, my son would love Hot Wheels, Matchboxes. He has hundreds and hundreds of them, and he would be playing Matchboxes or Hot Wheels, right, on the carpet. And he would say, "Stop it!" God, what was his name? What did he call him? Cheryl, what was the little boy's name? I forgot the name. Hopefully Cheryl will go ahead and text me over his name. And we would hear him in the other rooms talking with him on different occasions. And we would sneak around and we would look inside, and we wouldn't see anything. But for some reason, back in the days, I would go out and do nighttime investigations, and I would be out until the wee hours of the morning. And then Cheryl would text me, say, "Jeff, we just heard something walking around on the second floor of the house." Or Cheryl would say, "I just saw somebody come down the staircase." And things would pick up when I was not here. Only when I was not here. And all three of them would hear. It happened also on Christmas. Actually, I was here. Cheryl was upstairs, and she saw somebody walk into Andrew's room, and she followed him in there thinking it was Andrew, but Andrew was downstairs, and would say, "Hey, Andrew, what are you doing up?" And nothing was in the room. Things like that, until I put my foot down and blessed the house and did what we tell you all to do on trying to get rid of evil in your homes, and everything stopped. And I still do it. Even though things are not happening, I still do it. And especially in Kristen's room. When he's asleep, I'll say a couple of prayers, and I will pretty much say what I tell you guys to say in the name of Jesus Christ. Any evil, you are not welcome here. I want you out of this house and off this property now. And it's been quiet. Not unless Cheryl has not told me anything, but it's been quiet. It's been very, very quiet here in our home. And so, yes, the question is, will something follow you home? Something did follow me home in the ambulance.
Plus we know other people that investigate up and down, actually everywhere, but some closer to us than others, and they have had problems. And especially like if they take an item, like a mirror or a doll or something from the other house that they were investigating, and they're only trying to help the other people, when they figure out what it is, the item, and then they take it home and store it in their garage, and then they have the problem, right? And then they start having health problems and all kinds of problems. I mean, and I've tried telling some of those people, that they can actually, if they they know what the item is, they can get rid of it. Like, especially the Ouija board thing, like, get rid of it. There's certain things that draw these things to you also that, like Ouija boards, and they can attach themselves to objects. Right. So
be careful what you purchase at yard sales and antique places, because you will bring home something that's attached to whatever it is that you purchased.
That's come up so many times.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So be careful. So there you go. That answer. Hope that answered your question.
I think it answered.
Am I afraid at what I do here? Not anymore.
Me either.
Not after what we can say to get rid of. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid anymore. I used to remember when I started to say these words, I used to get goosebumps big time, but now the goosebumps have stopped. When I say, in name of Jesus Christ, anything evil here, get out, and it's like a second nature now to me. So, it doesn't scare me at all anymore.
Well, I in my researching on in people that believe in Jesus, if you've accepted him, then you can't even then they can't jump on you or nothing. So you're totally like safe, and it won't follow you home, and it can't go in your house and stuff like that. Like, you can keep it all at bay. But if you just mock, make fun of the thing, this, and they can see right through it, and they love to torment people and cause problems and health problems, and I think a lot of people, I think a lot of families have them attached to their families, and sometimes they might skip a generation. It's almost like the alien agenda thing. A lot of times when we start investigating the alien abductions, you start asking, did the grandma or the grandpa talk about, and they go, oh yeah, they did, but not my mom so much, or my dad, but the grandpa did. And then, they go even further, and then you start finding out that there's been this attachment to that family, like a curse, kind of like, and the same with people that they do the occult. They have like a great grandma that had an occult, and so the family gets an attachment, and then it'll follow the generations, and sometimes it'll just be one person. And most everybody that I'm talking to right now, you probably already know and have thought of it, knowing that this one certain person in your family just has to be the one. I mean, I have like 5 people in my family I could probably say, something's up. And I don't mean, some of them were already passed, but yeah. It could be generational.
No, right on. All right, how much time we have? Oh, look right down here.
A little bit.
Yeah, we have like
about
10
minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so all right. Very cool. Again, now, there are a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, who I want to have on my show. And I can contact them, and they probably would come on by phone. But I want to wait a little bit longer. I'm hoping to God that by the beginning of next year, we should have a bite, and hopefully able to really pursue the TV thing. Granted, right now we have 18 weeks of shows, which is actually 9 weeks, but they're going to rerun the episode. So we're talking 2 months from now, from December, January. At the end of January will be the last episode played on TV. Maybe we will be able to get some extra money to shoot some more episodes, and if that happens, then we will.
Yeah, if anybody sponsorships come along that want to advertise around it, and they want to
sponsorships right now. I mean, the way a barter deal thing works on TV is they're giving us half the commercials.
Right.
So if you want to buy some commercial time on the CW on our show, then let us know, because it can happen and at a very good price.
Really good price.
Really good price. Okay.
And we even have a production company that could help you.
Yeah, film a commercial or do whatever you want to do. If you want to sell something nationally, or something locally here,
or internationally.
Yeah, you never know, man. Yeah. And get a hold of us. You can text me at that 24-hour hotline at 559-287-8367, or you can go. We have a contact form, and when I say contact form, don't let that scare you. We have a website, paranormalcentral.net, paranormalcentral.net, and go to that. It gives you information about us. There is a form on there, a contact form. It's really simple. You just type in your name and your email, and then a large spaced area that you can write out your question or comment and send it. It will go directly to me. If you want to give it, or you want it to go to somebody else like Alan or Danny or Heidi, then put that on there. This is for Heidi or Danny or Alan, and I will email it to them so they can get it. But if you have any questions, if you want to be a sponsor, anything like that, send us your contact information and on the contact form at paranormalcentral.net. Very simple. All right, guys? A lot of people have been actually texting also. They love the opening song on our show. For all those who don't know, we have our own band. They're called Possessed Tranquility. And if you went and saw the flyer that I posted up on, and I'm going to post it up right now, this is the band right here. They are part of the show, just like Jimmy Fallon has the Roots. We've got Possessed Tranquility, and they take us out and bring us back into commercial. They also wrote the Unexplained. That is the song name that you hear at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show, the intro and the outro. You can purchase that song on iTunes or go to our website, and there is a link marked Possessed Tranquility, and you can see photographs from them. I'll take you to the links, right to links to purchase their music.
Yeah, if you go to paranormalcentral.net, it has all the links to everybody. You could even go on YouTube, has the links to everybody. On the side, it has the favorite, or what we call, YouTube says our favorites. So I have links to the band and
cool,
and Heidi and Heidi's information, and Danny doesn't have very many, so
yeah, because he's a loser.
I have him going to his photography.
Oh,
thing.
photography, okay. And he can't really do much since he's always in the freaking basement. I don't know how he gets out of all these vacations. That just blows me away.
I want to go to now that I saw him at the Sears Tower, I want to go to that, man, where you see him standing by the window, and then the window tilts, and you're looking straight down like 100 floors or something.
He weighs 350 pounds, so
yeah.
Miracle he didn't break it once.
I noticed he was fudging. You know what I mean? He wasn't following the window. He was his arms were going with the window, but his whole body wasn't really leaning over.
Not catch me alive up there.
It is kind of scary.
You would not catch me up there. I'm afraid of heights, guys. Big time afraid of heights. And yet I climb poles for a living, but I only go up 15 feet, and that is as far as high as I will go. But
I'm working on the merchandise. Where we're at now is this is something I'm not good at. Okay, you guys. There's a lot of stuff I could do. I'm getting pushed to the limits on the website stuff now than I used to. I mean, we've grown to where now it's critical. critical thing where I have to get it right every time, and I'm not that good. And with merchandise, you have to take the merchandise off of the drawings or photos or whatever, and then turn it into a certain file that the companies can use that makes the designs and then puts it on like say like with this T-shirt right here, that would have to be white in order to be printed on a black T-shirt, and if I put it up there and I put it on a black, white on black, that's the only T-shirt you could buy would be black on white. Some people want a white T-shirt with the black lettering, so then you have to make it where there's the opposite of it. And you have to do it with every design, know. And then some of them have color and stuff like that. And, and I'm working with a couple of kids I have, only they're not, they know how to do it. And if it's for them, it'll be done like that, but if it's for me, it could be done next week or a month or, I don't know when it's going to get done. And I'm trying right now because I have to scan it in to make the electronic, design and then change it into the format in Adobe Photoshop, which I don't know anything about. And I've not learned Photoshop on purpose because of what we do.
Hopefully, if one day somebody will be able to do that for us.
Right, but I mean, if somebody came along and I put out a picture or a video and then they said you Photoshop that, I don't want anybody. I don't know how to. I can turn it on and look at it, but I can't finagle an image in Photoshop. Sorry, and I did that on purpose. I don't want to know how because I don't want to be called hoaxer or faker or.
Yeah, I am the most computer illiterate person that you will ever meet. I can just go to YouTube. Maybe write up some letters, but that is it for me.
I mean, it's like our buddy Robert.
Scott.
Robert Thorson.
Oh.
He knows Photoshop really good, and he's always making these Photoshop pictures with UFOs and stuff in them, and it looks real, some of them,
Really?
But it's all Photoshopped. Ooh. So then if he puts up something that is real, I'm questioning it. Like, yeah, so did you really make that? Like you went out and took the video and then you put that image in there,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was into Photoshop, but the videos that he captures on his video cameras are not Photoshop,
they're not Photoshop,
guys, because they're video. So, all right, so they're the legit thing. Okay, well, we got about 5 or 6 minutes left.
Yeah, we do.
Hopefully Danny and hopefully Heidi will be back next week. Danny, I don't know how much more. No, to be honest, I don't think he will be because the holiday season is now in full force for him. For those who don't know, when Danny gets out of the basement, he works for UPS, and he drives the brown truck. And he is a delivery guy, and right around the Black Friday is coming around, so
he's going to be living in his truck.
I remember he does 12-hour days almost every day for a long time, and they keep him busy, and so he is going to be now. If it's on, he'll probably be working on a Sunday, and if that's the case, he probably still won't be able to do this thing because if he's working on the Sundays, and so I don't know, but he can't go and any more vacations. Probably because they won't let him now. He has to stay. He has to stay home now for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right. So then in January he'll be back on the vacation trip. No,
no kidding. No.
In February, here we go.
Slime ball. And hopefully Heidi will just take care of herself and be back again next week, and hopefully she get out of that hospital, and she will continue to broadcast with us and. Some UFOs and ghost stories.
She really felt bad about going in this time. I was talking with her in messages, and she was apologizing like crazy. She likes working with us a lot. Yeah. She wants to be with a part of this.
Yeah, as soon as this thing goes on TV and we get a contract and stuff, she's going to move to California.
Right? Yeah.
She's going to be affiliated with us one way or another. An outside reporter. She could very well. Take the team and, if a UFO crashes over here, she's on the next plane going over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she can do a lot of things for us. So she's looking forward to the day that we get to that point. And I think it's just due time, guys. Really, I think it's just due time. So, all right. I keep looking up there for I don't know why, but we got about 3 minutes left. Yeah. So I want to thank you very much to all the people who called in tonight on the 24
and saying
hour
all those
hotline.
nice things.
Yeah, you
guys are going to give me dreams.
The checks are in the mail tomorrow. I will put them in the mail. Appreciate it. They'll be all in pennies, but you'll get them. Guarantee it. No, I want to thank you very much. We enjoy what we do here. There's no doubt about it. You can tell we're having a blast. But wait until we get a budget for TV, guys. Oh, you guys,
well, we have all these ideas. We kick around ideas, and I mean, you can tell just by looking around right here. There's lots of ideas going on, But only, man, if we had money to spend, and we could count on it. Oh man, we would be doing some really cool things, and we would be traveling about too.
Oh, wait, the show area stage. It's gonna, blow your mind.
I want to get enough where I could travel to all the
2 minutes.
The UFO cons and the Bigfoot. Beach foots and whatever, all the other supernatural places, and that way we could go out and meet everybody.
Right. Keith, give me a 15-second countdown, please.
That's how I met BZ, and I love meeting everyone, and the only way is you got to get out to do it.
Right. Exactly. And for me, I have a full-time job, and I can't leave that job until something very secure happens where I can take a leave of absence, because I'm married with children, guys. I can't leave AT&T. I just can't until something comes our way that I know I can for a while.
He's like the 2 kids and 2 dogs in a car payment and a house payment. He's that guy.
I can't do it. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. And I want to thank AT&T for allowing me to put this show on for you guys, because it's coming out of my pocket. And see all this stuff around me, guys?
Came out of his pocket.
It came out of my pocket, and AT&T has allowed me to work overtime to put this show on for you guys.
And they let him have time off sometimes to come and do the show when normally everyone's working, like in the rain. Everybody works in the rain at AT&T.
All right, you guys, that's it. We got about 30 seconds left. I want to thank you very much for all those who called in tonight, and for those who are watching wherever you may be around the world. I appreciate it. For all those people who are listening at the Dark Matter Digital Network, thank you very much to Keith and Art for allowing us to be part of you guys. We're having a blast, and we're going to continue doing it on TV or on the radio, wherever it may be.
And the web.
And again, we'll be back next week. So stay tuned. It's going to get better. I promise you it's going to get better. You have not seen anything yet. Take care. Keep your eyes to the skies, and I hope you witness something that you cannot explain. Have a good night. Peace.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and on ArtBell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained?
Hey, over and out.